We may see some clearer spells across Northern Ireland, but plenty of showers around northern and western coasts, and a very wet start across central parts of England and Wales, parts of the southwest too. This rain's still heavy and persistent at times, and it will slowly edge its way towards the southeast too, so quite a damp day on offer across parts of the south. To the north of this, we may see some clearer spells, but plenty of showers. Once again, these falling as snow, mainly across hills, but once again, we could see some to lower levels, particularly across parts of Scotland, and it's going to feel very cold here, particularly in the brisk northerly wind, and feeling rather chilly under cloudy skies to the south too. Still very windy across those southern coasts. Heading into Thursday, there will be more sunshine around, but likely to start the day off with a very sharp frost. Still plenty of showers around too, particularly around coastal areas, where once again they could fall as snow, particularly in the north. And as we finish off the week, it's likely to remain cold with a risk of frost and also some ice. That's it from me. Happy New Year.
There will be a light breeze in the morning, leading to a warm front. Boxed heat pumps, sponsors of weather on GB News.
There's still plenty of time to grab your chance to win our biggest cash prize ever, an incredible £50,000. What would you spend £50,000 on in the coming year? Spectacular holidays, a brand new car, home improvements, or maybe you'd just like to save it for a special occasion? For another chance to win, text cash to 63232. One entry costs £2 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63232. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start from just £2. You can call 0903 681 3232. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB10 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 6 p.m. on the 31st of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more.
Whether it's breaking royal news, Will, please bring us up to date, or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons.
Very, very curious.
We bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and I'm going to take a second to tell you all about my show, Dubes & Co. We start off with the issues of the day. We then bring in both sides of the arguments. We get rid of the disrespect, and then you throw me into the mix. And trust me, I'll tell it exactly how it is. And then, of course, the magic ingredient, you at home. We mix it all together, and what have we got? In my opinion, the best debate show in town. Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Good evening, Britain. It is 10 o'clock and this is New Year's Eve live.
The countdown is on, and in less than 2 hours, we'll be ringing in 2025.
Right now, it's the Greeks who are welcoming the new year, eh, Patrick? These are the live pictures from the Greek capital, Athens.
And in the next hour, we're also going to be live in Paris as France counts down to 2025.
Yes, and between now and 1 a.m, we'll be looking back at 2024 and, crucially, looking ahead to what 2025 could bring too.
And of course, we'll be live across the United Kingdom as the nation counts down to midnight.
Hello, I'm Tony Maguire and I'm here in Edinburgh, where all of the iconic Edinburgh Hogmanay festivities outdoors have been cancelled due to the weather. Now, the tens of thousands of people who have made it to Edinburgh to celebrate tonight, well, they're soon to find out that the best cure for dampened Scottish spirits is more Scottish spirits. Join me tonight as I make my way around Edinburgh, talking to locals and visitors, a bit of a barfly, as we make the best of it and ring in the new year.
Come to the Galgorm Castle here outside Ballymena in County Antrim. They have decided to run their own New Year's Eve party here tonight with a private fireworks display. It was the only one that we could actually find in Northern Ireland. Many of the councils were too mean to run them, and others have postponed them because they fear of the weather. And that is the difference between the private sector and public sector. Many revellers have started arriving here at 9 o'clock. Behind me you can see them coming in and out of the bar. They're here to enjoy a good night. and at midnight we will have the piper and we will have the fireworks.
I'm Adam Cherry here in London, where 45-mile-an-hour winds aren't putting off anybody. Thousands already gathering here. Sky will light up with those fireworks behind me at midnight. People expecting a great show. We'll be here for all of it, so stay tuned.
So get that English sparkling wine on ice, grab a glass, stay with us for our New Year's Eve party.
Over the next 3 hours, we've got the best guests and a few surprises.
Yes, it is the most exciting night of the year. We are delighted to be spending it with you. This is GB News New Year's Eve Live.
It's 10 p.m. live across the United Kingdom as the countdown to 2025 begins. This is GB News New Year's Eve Live.
That's right, we are delighted to have your company this evening as we ring in 2025. We're looking at live pictures there of London. We're going to be going to cities all around the country this evening with our reporters. Scotland, the weather was supposed to be so bad, Patrick Christie's, that the fireworks were cancelled. Doesn't look that bad to me.
They've got coats on, half of them, haven't they? That's summer. It's fire at the barbecue. Ridiculous.
Scots are hardy people. They've seen worse.
Oh, it's woke culture, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Well, listen, we've got 3 hours ahead of us, guys.
Big night.
We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to get through. At 10:30 tonight, Sir Keir Starmer is going to be addressing the nation. You were doing a show, so you don't know. You may not know about this, Patrick.
No.
But we don't know what he's going to say. But obviously, we will treat that with the irreverence that no doubt it deserves.
Happy New Year to everyone apart from the far right, probably.
Can I ask, is he live from his Madeira swimming pool? He's on holiday at the moment, isn't he?
Apparently not.
Well, he's already recorded this speech, so it was presumably in Lord Ali's house.
Well,
maybe,
yeah.
Who knows? Or
well decked out.
I mean, you know, how is he going to outdo his Christmas message, eh?
Yeah, easily. We're also going tonight. We're going to look at a bit of your wedding video, Patrick and Emily. That's really exciting,
yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
a surprise.
Is that a thing that's happening? Is it?
Yeah, you're going to be seeing that as well. And we just want to hear from you at home, the GB News family. We couldn't have got through 2024 without you and your amazing support. gbnews.com/your say. But let's, first of all, just have a think about what has happened this year. Darren, let me start with you. Political highlights of 2024?
I think a political highlight for me has to be the election of Donald J. Trump, to be honest, because I think it's going to have such a massive impact over here. You know, we all think, oh my goodness, what a year we've just been. Things can only get better, as Labour would say. Well, in 2025, I think now they could be.
Yeah.
Do you agree with my consensus that we're perhaps 4 or 5 years behind the US? So we're just starting our Biden term
Exactly.
now.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, I would. And I think we're in for exciting times. I think the local elections next year are going to be ones to watch.
Which is interesting, actually. We're talking about Trump having an impact here, and then we go from the sublime to the ridiculous to say, actually, the local elections are going to have an impact here. But that's because why? Because reform might take a huge chunk out of some of those council seats?
Because, look, you need to have a local strategy before you build into a national one, right? The Lib Dems have been absolutely perfect at this for goodness only knows how long, since the disestablishment of the SDP. But you look at what reform are targeting, especially areas in the northeast of England, where, you know, my mother and Nana will be watching right now, in Stanley, where you were, Patrick.
Not only watching, but I think we're going to see them later. I think they're going to zoom in.
They are going to zoom in. Yeah, they're going to zoom in.
Fantastic.
So areas like that will be ones to watch to see just how far reform can take it, because according to that MRP poll, they were saying that in the northeast, it's ripe for the picking.
And if we think, Emily, about kind of, you know, the lowlights from 2024, because I think none of us around this table wanted Keir Starmer to get in and fail, right?
No.
There might be some people who are very, very party political who wanted him to fail, but I think all of us around here, correct me if I'm wrong,
patriots,
wanted him to come in and do a good job. We just want the country to be sort of dragged up into a place where we feel we can afford things, you know, going to the supermarket, all the things we feel want to be safe on the streets. It hasn't happened. There's a whole long list of...
No, and let's be truthful here, a huge number of people put their trust into Keir Starmer. Yes, it was a vote against the Conservatives, but a lot of people thought, you know, Keir Starmer can make a good change to this country, and it's been winter fuel payments taken away from pensioners, it's been ideological pursuits against private schools for no real reason at all, it's been the farmers being raided for tax.
Waspy women.
It's been the waspy women who
we all thought he meant
change
in the nation. He was asking you if you've got any change. That's what he was doing.
When you stand up in a rose garden and tell the country that things can only get worse before they get better,
exactly.
I mean, you know, setting yourself up.
And Patrick, you're on GB News pretty much every night. Or, I mean, you've had quite a good Christmas, actually, because Darren Grimes has literally been on GB News all He gave you a few days off, which was good. But you must go on air every night and think, right, I want there to be some good news. There's something that they've done which has gone well.
Yeah, I mean, you could very easily do 2 hours. Oh, by the way, can I just quickly apologise for whatever I look like, because I did get changed. I don't know if this actually...
You look lovely.
Anyway, so I could do 2 hours of what this government has done that day, every single day. We're not allowed, of course, and it wouldn't be right to do that. But it does seem to me as though they keep scoring own goals. They don't see... I mean, the messaging is awful. You mentioned the Rose Garden there. You mentioned... it's the lies, though, is the thing. You know...
Is it lies, though? Because they'd say, a £22 billion black hole, Tories did this, Tories did that. Is it lies, or...
I mean, Ed Miliband found 22 billion quid to spend on carbon capture in the northeast, didn't he? So, you know, is there a black hole?
Fine use of our money.
A fine use, yeah, to a Norwegian company. So
climate aid, 11 billion in climate aid.
Yeah, some of which go into the Taliban. Yeah. So great.
Insane.
But you know what? I mean, to make it relevant to today with these New Year's honours, I mean, Keir Starmer, who wanted to abolish the House of Lords, who, you know, wants to decolonise things, or at least Sadiq Khan does, they're all willing to accept these gongs, aren't they? Yeah. Very interesting.
I'm delighted to say that we're actually going to be joined down the line now by Nigel Farage. Nigel, good evening to you. Good evening. Good evening. Right, tell us where you are. What do you do on New Year's Eve?
I'm on the coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm not going out to a big party because you get to a point where everyone knows you, and those that don't like you are rude. Those that do like you want to hug you and never let you go. So I'm quietly at a quiet house party, 12 people, and it's all going very, very well. And we're all reflecting on 2024, what the year meant for all of us. And do you know what? There's a mood of optimism about 2025. There's a feeling amongst my group of family and friends that 2025 marks a turning point where a really big change, a positive change is coming.
But it's interesting what you say, Nigel, about your popularity and whether people want to hug you or whether they want to take you on and have an argument with you. How has that changed for you in 2024 personally? Probably, I would say, following on maybe from being in the jungle at the end of 23.
Well, there's no question that the jungle made a huge difference, because the jungle, you know, I was in there for 24 days. You can't hide. You can't pretend to be what you're not. And people saw me for what I am. Now, they can like it, not like it, but they can at least form an impression. So the jungle helped. I think, and it's political, I guess, but I think the sheer ineptitude of Keir Starmer, of now Kemi Badenoch, I mean, frankly, have you seen her New Year's message? It's embarrassing. I mean, it's so low grade, it's unbelievable. And I think, you know, whether I'm talented or not, I perhaps look rather more able than the other two to an awful lot of people. So yeah, I think perceptions of me as a person have changed over the course of this year. And the political party that I lead, Reform, you wait. Give it 2 weeks and see where we are in the opinion polls, and the establishment are going to be shocked. Massive historical change is coming to Britain. It's coming quickly, and in my opinion, it's badly needed.
Nigel, what's been your personal highlight? It's Emily here. What's been your personal highlight of the year? You know, we talked about work successes, we talked about politics and everything. What's been the personal highlight?
Well, Emily, I'm rather older than you, and you know, I turned 60 earlier this year, which, given that I survived a plane crash, a major road traffic accident and cancer as a young man. Even being 60 was a moment for celebration. Forget the votes, forget the seats in Parliament, forget the nearly 160,000 members that we're about to break in the next hour. Oh, no question. My two grandsons being born this year, one of the most incredible, really incredible episodes of my life, and something that means so much to me. And that comes above absolutely everything.
Nigel, good evening. It's Ben. Happy New Year to you. Two very quick questions. Have you heard from Kemi yet?
No apology has been forthcoming, and therefore I will be giving a response on Friday.
Oh, there we go.
What I'm going to do, she won't like it. She really, really won't like it, but she could still apologise.
OK, second question is, we heard and we saw your New Year's message earlier. Some people saying, without getting accused of being a reform mouthpiece, as we've heard from some quarters over the past week, you did look quite prime ministerial. In recent years, maybe 2016, 2017, you admitted yourself you weren't overly keen on being Prime Minister. Has that changed now, Nigel? Would you like to be Prime Minister?
Well, Ben, I was a warrior. I was a street fighter. I was, get me out there. Someone hold my jacket. I mean, that was, my whole political career was based on that. I'm now in a different place. I'm now about what is wrong with our country, what we need to do to put it right. And I've said since June the 3rd, when I came back out of semi-political retirement, that it's about family, community, and country. They're the things that matter to me. They're the things that matter to GB News viewers. That's what matters to most of our population. And if I can be the agent for change for all of those things, then you know what? I'll do my damnedest over the next few years to do that. So, yes, I'm in a very different place. I'm not now fighting the establishment to get us to leave the European Union. I'm trying to replace the establishment. Now, historically, people will say that I'm mad. But you know what? Something is happening out there.
Got it.
Nigel, Patrick here. Thank you very much for joining us. I mean, look, hey, you when you went back into politics, I know the personal toll that took on you. You missed our wedding. You had to go to the election. There was a rumour that you were going to fly a helicopter in and land it on the farmer's field next door. Some people thought that might have upstaged the bride, so we had to call that off. What I will ask you, Nigel, look, are you going to turn the boats back? And can you just explain to me, right, how do you square that with the French?
I think
Nigel's frozen.
There you go.
Typical politician.
Didn't he?
Just like the wedding.
I was chatting to... maybe I can answer this from my Uber driver tonight. So I was chatting to my Uber driver on the way here tonight, Eritrean, came over on a truck. And I said to him, what could we do? And obviously he's now saying there's too much illegal immigration here and I want it to end, which you hear commonly when you talk to people actually who came over here. And I said to him, what would be the deterrent? What would make people like you when you were 17 come over and stop? He said, if you send people back to their country of origin straight away, that will stop the boat crossings straight away.
And what's his thoughts on illegal migrants now?
Oh, he says there's too many of them. They need to stop. Which you hear a lot.
He shouldn't really have come over on a truck, really, should he? No. That would have gotten awkward.
You know what? As we sort of sit here at 10:15 on the last day of 2024, it's sort of easy to forget what's happened this year. Are we going to go back to Nigel? Oh, I think we're going to go back to Nigel. So, do you...
Well, OK, Nigel, sorry, I don't know if you heard that. I was just going to ask, so you are going to turn the boats back, are you? And how do you square that with the French?
It's very easy. The UNCLOS 1982 Law of the Seas says we are fully entitled to send boats back to a safe place if they're in danger in any passage across any, water course in the world. So there's no problem with that. The French will hate it, but that's not difficult. We've given them £500 million. They've delivered almost nothing. And do you know what? We're full of arguments in life about why we can't do things. What about arguments as to why we can do things? Because only by sending people back do we stop them coming. Tony Abbott in Australia was told he couldn't do anything about the boats coming from Indonesia. But in 2012, do you know what he did? He towed them back to Indonesia. Guess what happened? The boats stopped coming. we must do the same.
And just lastly, Nigel, do you ever make New Year's resolutions? Do you do anything as trite as decide you're going to change lifestyle or live healthier?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I've been thinking about it, Bev, very hard. Do I give up drinking or driving? And driving's lost. I've given up driving. That's it.
You've given up... Oh. Honestly, we talk about you less so much in this studio. I presume that's what you meant. It became too hard to own a car. Death of the motorist. No, so you're carrying on drinking rather than driving.
Absolutely.
Right, Nigel, Happy New Year from all of us.
And
we
to
look
all
forward...
of you, and to GB News, and our loyal fans. And I must say, 2024 was the year that GB News really came of age. Our influence now on national debate is at a level I could not have dreamt of when I joined it back in 2021. And given that we've done it with a very, very relatively small team of people, I think we have a lot to be proud of. I really genuinely do, including all of you tonight on that panel. Love you all.
Oh, thank you, Nigel.
Happy New Year.
We look forward to working with you as well in the next 12 months.
That's wholesome, isn't it?
Isn't that wholesome?
That was quite wholesome.
Yes, it was.
You know, the one thing that I think, I didn't used to be a big Nigel Farage fan, and I don't mind saying...
You hated Trump as well, didn't you?
Hated Trump. I knew nothing in those days. I didn't know anything.
What happened to you, Beth?
Well, so much happened. It's quite a long story, and I won't bore you with it tonight.
She met Darren Grimes.
The thing is, what I find impressive about Nigel as a human being and as a politician, there is no spin. You will have all asked him questions on this, and you always get a straight answer from Nigel. He talks from the heart, and if he doesn't know, he'll say, I don't really know how I feel about that, but, I'm looking into it.
And if he can't tell you, for whatever reason, he'll say that.
Yes, he will.
He'll say that, make that clear, rather than trying to obfuscate.
He mentioned I'm a celebrity there, right?
Yeah.
And do you know how recently we've been talking a lot about reform's back end? Well, we've seen Nigel Farage's back end already. So I said, I've seen enough of it. I've seen enough of it.
Look, he's still a divisive
seen a lot of
character.
Nigel.
There are a lot of people who do not see Nigel in that way. They still see him as the architect of Brexit, with which they don't agree, and they see that he supports...
So is that you saying he can't go all the way?
Do I think it...
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fascinating 3 or 4 years up to the next election.
But as you said, Bev, whether people like Nigel or not, they know what he's about. I've known him since I was 20, maybe 15 years, maybe a little bit more, and he's always stood for the same principles, the same policies, the same campaigns, the same morals, the same ethics, and you can't say that about any other or most other politicians.
Just very quickly tell a little story, actually. So we were on honeymoon, we were in Thailand, right, and I forgot about the time difference, OK, and I messaged him about something, and the phone went off and he called straight away.
Why are you admitting that you were messaging Nigel Farage on our honeymoon? Seriously, this is quite embarrassing for me, don't you think?
It wasn't the highlight of the honeymoon.
He was saying, have you seen the boat that
It was the highlight of the honeymoon.
But he called, anyway, so he called. So we had a quick chat with him, and I put the phone down, and he said to me, hang on a minute, it was 5 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And he was at work. It wasn't like he'd gone all the way through. He started at 5 a.m. on a Sunday. He is 24/7.
But talking of your honeymoon...
Oh, gosh, here we go.
Oh, gosh.
I haven't seen this. I don't know whether you've... How long is the whole wedding video?
We've got a 15-minute one, which is the full film.
We're not doing that.
No, we're not. Don't worry, we're not. And this is a little two-minute clip. I don't know.
Oh, lovely. And just remind our viewers, when was this?
So we got married.
Can you remember, Patrick?
We got married on June 30th.
Yep.
Best day of our lives.
Best day.
Best day of our lives.
It was beautiful.
It was stunning.
Yeah. Right, let's have a little look. Here's the wedding video.
Sometimes I feel like throw my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes
I've got to marry this beautiful, kind-hearted, caring lady who also happens to be my very best friend.
to see me through. Sometimes it seems the going is just too rough.
Emily, I just want to say that every single moment with you is a real privilege. And if we find ourselves in 60 years' time sitting on a park bench, holding hands and laughing together, then I think that will have been a life very well lived.
We see their mutual love and support, which is why we give this wedding, this partnership, little team as they call themselves, our blessing.
When friends are gone, I know my savior, the love is real. You know it's real, 'cause you got the love, you got the love, you got the love. You got the the love, you got the love, you got the love. You got the love, you got the love, you got the love. You got the love, you got the love, you got the love.
There we go. That's
beautiful.
At that. How amazing.
Yes. I've put weight on, haven't I?
You look lovely now and then.
Yeah,
honestly, thank you though for showing the nation that, because you were both sort of slightly cringing, weren't you?
Massively cringing. I forgot we were doing that.
I can't believe you've just shown that on national TV.
Has it changed anything being married? The dynamics, does it feel more like real or just...
Well, I mean, like, we hardly see each other now midweek because obviously I'm doing the evening show and Emily's on.
Wouldn't lead with that.
Well,
I think it's made us feel
absence
much calmer.
Yeah, it is a look. It's great. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, I'm obviously the luckiest guy in the world. So
yeah.
You got a little tip.
I think should we move on?
Come on. What we all want to know. We all want to know. When? Come on. We need a little Christie's. We need a little Christie's.
I'll leave you waiting on that one, Darren. I'll leave you waiting on that one.
Well, talking of...
The world's not ready.
Talking of loving relationships, any of you that watch me in the morning on Britain's News, you will know that me and Andrew Pearce have an interesting relationship, but somebody once described it as the couple that stayed together for the kids. and that, frankly, does sum up the energy sometimes in the room.
Just recount that story you told the other week with Nigel about you were speaking to our head of programming here. What did you say?
Oh, when he said, he came in and he said, I want daytime shows to have co-presenters. I want there to be double headers. At the time I was doing it on my own. And I went, oh, God, all right, OK, who? And he went, I'm going to put you with Andrew Pearce. And I went, you could literally have picked anyone else in the world except Andrew Pearce. But mainly that was because of his position on lockdowns and COVID vaccine mandates and all that sort of stuff. I saw him as the enemy, right? It's been a journey. Let's just put it like that.
Oh, it's great.
You're
it's a great
besties
show.
now. I see the way you look at each other.
We have, well, I can't speak for Andrew, but I think there is enormous mutual respect and admiration and perhaps even sometimes affection.
Didn't you speak at his book launch as well?
I did. I interviewed him at the Henley Literary Festival,
So you're mates now?
We are mates, I would like to think
That's
so.
lovely.
But I tell you what we do, every single day, regardless of what's happening, there is a belly laugh every single day. We both have quite a dark and irreverent sense of humour. So here's some of our moments. And today we're asking, as Assad falls in Syria, is the UK still a player on the world stage?
I don't quite know asking that question, to be honest.
It wasn't us. We didn't get rid of Assad. Look, people have thought long and hard about that question, Andrew. Don't take the mickey. We've gone a bit early on the biscuits. You just caught us red-handing.
Your mum is the voice of common sense.
Where do you think I get it from? Right,
Well,
during Advent. She's right.
And poor old Harry, I don't know if you saw any of the interview, he hardly got a word in.
I know how he feels. First, the news with Sam Francis. Right, this is Britain. Yeah, put your biscuits out, Andrew. Well done. OK.
When it gets so hot that the sweat no longer cools you down, you literally boil in your own sweat. I know that sounds like complete exaggeration.
It does, actually.
When it gets...
I'm afraid it does sound like exaggeration. They're boiling to death. Perhaps they should put more deodorant on. Alex, we're going to have to let you go because we're running late to the headlines. Alex, thanks for coming.
See, I love eggs.
I do.
Honestly, they had a bad rep over the years, didn't they? People, oh, not very good for your cholesterol, da-da-da. I think the school of thought on that has changed quite significantly now, that they are full of protein.
Yeah, and you can do so many nice things with them. Well, how do you prefer your eggs? Fried, omelette, scrambled?
I make a very good soft poached egg.
Oh.
I mean, I give him a hard time sometimes, but I wouldn't describe it as bullying.
Well, good luck if they want to bully me. I like scrambled egg.
Oh, but it can't be too sloppy.
No.
Don't like sloppy scrambled egg.
I make it in the microwave.
Oh. Oh, you do risk it becoming just like a fluffy, dry mess then, don't you?
No. You've got to time it perfectly. And don't forget, he's changing their language on immigration. The people crossing the... I know, I'm slipping down. Carmel overbroken this chair as well.
Should we join you?
Carmel overbroken this chair. I know. I was hoping nobody would notice. There we are, I'm back.
There you Doesn't stop the problem. Are you all right?
just choking to death.
Oh dear.
She's hoping.
I promise
Wishful
you,
thinking.
I didn't put anything in his water. Not today, but you know. Right, still to come. I don't know who's had more hairdos, me or him, actually.
I know, the stripes.
Yeah,
That's a look.
Absolutely. Right, we are going to be taking a quick break, I think, because we've got a cocktail mixologist. Frankie Delfino is coming in. But let's begin our New Year's quiz. I love a quiz.
Ooh.
Right, here is the question. We're going to reveal the answer after the break. Queen Margaret II. What is it, Darren?
Well, actually, I would have said Marguerite, but
I think it's
Margaret.
Margrethe, Queen Margrethe II, the longest-serving monarch in Europe, surprised her country by announcing her abdication in a New Year TV address. Of which country was she queen? Okay, is it Denmark, Norway, Netherlands, or Belgium? You're like one of those annoying people.
I don't know
on
about
Christmas
you
Day.
guys, but I've got a hunch. All right, I think I might have got this. All right, okay.
Eagle
At home, go Belgium. Yeah.
Stay tuned for the answer. This is New Year's Eve Live.
You ruined the quiz.
Only on GB News.
Britain's newsroom. Weekday mornings from 9:30.
A Tesco store on a Scottish island has defied locals by ignoring pleas to stay closed on Sundays.
Tesco's has said that no member of staff in Stornoway would be forced to work on a Sunday and that it had received a significant amount of positive reaction to its plans.
Well, let's talk now to the Minister of the Reformed Presbyterian Church, Reverend Kenneth Stewart. Good morning to you, Reverend Stewart. You're trying to keep Sunday special, and if Tesco are going to open up, that means it won't be quite as special for you.
Well, yes, good morning, and thanks for having me on. Yes, Tesco, for some reason, they claim it's not economic advantage, but for some reason they've decided to go against hundreds of years of tradition on this island and the deeply held religious convictions of many, many people, including, of course, their own customers who are really grieved by this decision. We come obviously from the standpoint that a day of rest is effectively mandatory. It's a human right, along with the other 10 commandments which have undergirded our moral and legal fabric in society. It actually enshrines the human right to a day of rest. And of course, in the UK, that's been eroded for many, many years. Incidentally, it's still far more respected on the continent. But for us here, the Sabbath or the day of rest has been very, very important. It's not just what we do, it's who we are. And for some reason, Tesco have decided just to go against that.
And Reverend Stewart, we were actually talking about this earlier, how in European countries, I mean, even in France, which is a secular country, still very few shops will open on a Sunday.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more. Whether it's breaking royal news, Will, please bring us up to date, or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons.
Very, very curious.
We bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Thank you, Britain.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for subscribing.
Thank you for your support.
It's you that make us the People's Channel.
As we reflect on our journey so far, we're filled with immense gratitude.
You mean the world to us. We couldn't have reached this point without you.
As a very special thank you, we are giving you the chance to win one of 50 GB News thank you boxes. They're worth £50 each.
For full terms and conditions, and to enter, just go to gbnews.com/thank you.
We're proud to be GB News, the People's Channel. And as you know, we always love to hear your views. Now, there's a new way of getting in touch with us at gbnews.com/your-say. By commenting, you can be part of a live conversation and join our GB News community. You can even talk to me, Bev Turner, or any of the members of the GB News family. Welcome back to New Year's Eve live here on GB News. We started our New Year's quiz just before the break. It went brilliantly, if you missed it, asking Queen Margaret II, the longest-serving monarch in Europe, surprised her country by announcing her abdication in a New Year TV address. Which country is she the Queen of? Was it Denmark, Norway, Netherlands or Belgium? Patrick Christie's, the answer is...
Well, it was Denmark, as the flags would have indicated.
I thought you said Belgium.
Maybe there's two. Maybe there's like two elements to this quiz. Maybe you watched the footage for the clue and the question. Then maybe they're more intelligent than us. Right, OK. And his first year's message from Downing Street, Sir Keir Starmer, has declared that the UK will embark on a year of rebuilding and rediscovering the great nation that we are in 2025. Here is what he said.
2024 was a year of change. Not sadly in the football, another agonisingly close shave for England, but change in politics with the election of this Labour government in July. And more importantly, with the work of change that we've begun. The minimum wage raised by a record amount, wages up more broadly, returns of foreign national criminals up 20%, billions of pounds worth of new projects in clean British energy, making our country more secure, and £25 billion invested in our NHS, starting to cut waiting lists in your local hospital. Now, I know there's still so much more to do, and that for many people it's hard to think about the future when you spend all of your time fighting to get through the week. So I want to be clear, until you can look forward and believe in the promise and the prosperity of Britain again, then this government will fight for you. A fight for change that will define this year, next year, and indeed every waking hour of this government. We have a clear plan for change. 1.5 million new homes, restoring the dream of home ownership. Children starting school ready to learn. A more secure energy system. Waiting lists cut dramatically. Immigration reduced. Neighbourhood police tackling antisocial behaviour in every community. And more cash in your pocket wherever you live. That is what we will be focusing on. A year of rebuilding, but also rediscovering the great nation that we are. A nation that gets things done, no matter how hard or tough the circumstances. We'll have time to reflect on that this year. A chance, with the 80th anniversary of VE and VJ Day, to cherish the greatest victories of this country and the greatest generation that achieved it. The 8th of May and the 15th of August will both be wonderful moments to come together and do that generation proud. But that victory, and indeed the peace and the prosperity that followed, all rested on the same foundation we must rebuild today: the security of working people. That is the purpose of this government, the goal of our plan for change, and we will push it forward in 2025. So wherever and however you're celebrating tonight, on behalf of the government, Happy New Year. Here's to a year of changing Britain for the better.
Now, he didn't look convinced. I'm not sure that our boys were very convinced by that either. Darren,
No.
you're shaking your head. His body language is just all slumped down in the seat. Looks like he's in a bunker.
Bev, I tell you what, I am so pleased that we've got our mixologist in right now because I need a drink after that. I really, really
I think
do.
I'm going to call it a night. That was enough for me. Oh, yeah, I'm gone. Can I just say, sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but his reference there to making a joke about the football off the back of so much change.
Awful.
He's banging on about all the change he thinks is good.
Yeah.
There's been dramatic change which has delivered great harm to a lot of people in this country.
Yeah,
And I think it's really out of order, quite frankly, joking about football like that.
We are going to talk a little bit more as the evening goes on about that speech from Keir Starmer, but we now have to talk to a very special member of the GB News family, Michelle Dewberry. Oh, caught you, Michelle, down in your glass of wine. How are you? Where are you?
Well, I'm celebrating the new year. I would love to say that I'm watching you now.
Oh, there we go. She's back. Go on,
here.
you're back.
I'm back. I'm on the edge of a dance floor. ABBA is playing. Hang on. I don't know. Can you see the dance floor?
Yeah,
I'm on
just
the edge
about.
of the dance floor. I've got my champagne and I've got my party popper. And I'm celebrating in spirit with all of you.
Oh, brilliant. Wait, are you up north, Michelle?
It's got Hull written all over it, this.
No, I'm not. I'm in the New Forest, actually, with my family.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you've gone posh this year. You've taken all the family to a hotel.
I know
One
we
of the
did.
people.
Well, we was in Hull the whole of Christmas, so we thought we'd give the bars of Hull a little bit of a rest. So we tackled the bars of the New Forest instead.
Amazing. Just, I don't know whether you can really think straight now, Michelle. Knowing you, it's 10:30. You've probably been partying quite hard for a few hours. But what are you looking forward to in 2025, particularly from a work point of view for you? What are you looking forward to talking about this year?
Well, I think it's going to be a car crash of a year politically, which means for us so much to dissect, get into. I'm excited about doing it all with all of you and the GB News family. There's going to be so much to discuss, dissect. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah,
it's
all
going
right.
to be absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic. You'll be pleased to know we've got to say goodbye to you because there's a man here about to make us some cocktails. So we send you lots of love.
I'm jealous. Well, hang on. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Michelle.
Cheers. Right. Our mixologist is with us in the studio.
Excellent.
Frankie Delfino.
Frankie.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Thank you,
guys. Hi,
Frankie,
Frankie.
for coming in on New Year's Eve. Right.
Pleasure.
What are you going to make for us tonight?
3 drinks. Two, and 1. We can do for 6 each if you want. I mean, we have enough boost for making a lot of drinks. So what I'm going to do, I do something classic and classy for the lady. So there is nothing more classy than a glass of champagne.
Well, Darren's right next to you.
For the lads. So 2 classic fizzy drinks we're going to do is a classic champagne cocktail, which is a touch of cognac.
Oh.
This is dangerous.
Isn't it?
I've never known how to make a champagne cocktail. This is interesting.
Yeah. One of the easiest things ever.
I
Fresh champagne, yeah?
Does the champagne always go in second if you're making a champagne cocktail?
Yes.
Why is that?
The last part that you gonna add is the sugar. And I'll tell you why. Because the sugar is gonna react with the champagne, with the fizziness, and it comes nice, bubbly from the reaction. The classic champagne cocktail is basically cognac, champagne, and a little bit of Angostura bitter.
Just remind us what that is, Angostura bitter.
Angostura bitter is like a bitter. It's a mix of herbs and alcohol, nothing else, which give an extra taste to some of the drinks that we are used to make it. Like,
and how much did you put on there?
The original recipe needs to say that the sugar cube needs to be soaked.
Okay.
This is a very sophisticated drink to greet your guests with, isn't it?
It looks like the vinegar down the chippy.
and with that, it was shattered. Yeah.
That's why this one's for the ladies.
Oh, very good. Oh, a little bit
Come
of
on, Bev. Get your lips round that.
That's when you have the champagne that is really fresh and open.
Am I going over?
And fizzy.
Go on.
Here she comes.
Come on, classy bird, Bev. Here we go.
Well, it looks sort of like looks like a bitter
Yes.
with a head on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Shall I?
No, it's not a bitter at all, trust me. It's
Hang on,
nice
it's
and
going to go up
refreshing.
my nose.
Don't laugh.
There we go. There's no perks in this job. Oh, there she goes. Right.
Oh, that packs a punch.
Wow.
I mean, it's what you need after the Prime Minister's speech. No?
Yeah, you're right.
It's true. It's true.
We like you, Frankie.
Emily, would you like to try one of these?
Yeah, pass it down. Shall I get up?
Wowzers.
Whoopla.
Or shall I take it? Do you manage?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
It's really strong, and the bitters of the Angosturas, it is bitter. Like it's.
So you have to be careful with your quantity.
You would try that, Ben. You don't eat sugar normally, Ben Leo, do you? You're normally.
I mean, a bit
Body's
of
a
sugar.
temple.
Yeah. You like
For the
that?
phone to.
No.
It's punchy, isn't it?
Yeah. No. I like a margarita.
Too strong.
Any marks?
We do something different because I'm Italian, unfortunately,
Yeah,
for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's great for me. My favourite cocktail is a Negroni.
There we go.
yeah,
You read my mind, or you read the ingredients, I don't know.
I didn't actually.
So I'm going to do a kind of Negroni, but it's going to be a Negroni for... it's a bit different. It's kind of tropical Negroni, let's say like this, or shaken Negroni. So the base is still the one for a classic Negroni. So we have Italian gin, bitter Campari, which someone say you can never do a Negroni without Campari.
Yeah.
And sweet vermouth.
You like a Negroni, don't you?
Well, that's what I was just saying. Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't know we were
Is it your
getting them
favourite?
tonight. Yes, it
Yeah, it's your
absolutely is. Yeah,
favourite.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody. See, Ben, you like the Margs, the Cosmos, Sex on the Beach.
I remember going to Vegas.
easy now. We do something quite similar for everyone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of homemade passion fruit syrup.
Nice.
Ooh.
Fruity.
How did you make that?
We literally cook under vacuum. Fresh fruit pulp, sugar and water.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I can give you the proportion, but after I have to kill you, so it's better for you to go. And then we add a little bit of citrus, lemon and orange, because orange is stay perfectly with the Negroni.
Frankie, can we see Darren shake one of those cocktails?
Absolutely, yes. Let me add
There's a specific style to it, isn't there?
Is that right?
Yes.
Have you ever shaken a cocktail, Darren?
I'll give it the old.
I've had one or two drinks in my time.
This is your Tom Cruise
then,
moment,
Darren.
Darren.
It is.
Come on.
Right, do I give it a... Oh.
Keep it one and
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
this could
up and
go
down.
really-
Okay.
Yeah,
Isn't
sit
easy?
up, Darren.
Oh, very good.
Well, I just lost my job, basically.
There we are. And then do you go, like, to the side? Oh.
There we go.
Bit of angle to it.
Well, there we are.
That's shaken.
It is.
Stop it.
There's some elbow grease
Don't
going
know why
into
you're
that.
laughing, Patrick.
Oh, I'm having a great time. This is ideal for me.
Oh,
I can't think of a better way to bring in the new year than this.
They're going to make you a special one.
For anyone that doesn't know, Patrick doesn't drink alcohol. Just to clarify
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Oh, Patrick!
No, you crack on,
Thank you.
You crack on. Lovely sound.
Thank you, Frankie.
And then you're
what are you drinking there?
you still have the
No
bitterness of the Negroni.
Prosecco.
Thank you.
It's gonna be nice
Prosecco's okay,
and
isn't it?
Ooh,
Oh, that's
better
really
than that.
nice. Yeah, that's really nice.
Delicious.
Is that a little sweeter? Mine was very...
Yeah.
Here we
Have
go.
a bosh of that, Bev.
See, we don't believe in germs, Ben and I, do we?
So I'm vaccinated.
You two, next
Don't
to each
bring
other,
back the
dangerous.
PTSD, Ben.
And then, of course, I haven't
Oh, yeah,
forgot
that's
you.
nice.
There's still one more to go.
Yeah, that's very nice.
It's a kind of
kind of
gimlet.
frothy and sweet.
So gimlet originally is basically a gin and lime cordial.
Lovely.
This one is a kind of gimlet, so it's alcohol-free spirits, kind of herbal spirits. So you can drive tonight.
Good. Yes, fantastic.
There you go, perfect.
Good. That's a relief.
I mean, in theory, you can drive them for a party, so
Yeah, well,
you know,
that's true.
someone else to enjoy. And then instead of lime cordial, we use orange and lime cordial.
Lovely.
So literally, we cook fresh orange juice, fresh lime juice, with some water, sugar, some acid, and the zest of the orange and
Some acid? Patrick's going to be on all night.
Wow. Yeah.
legal acid. Don't worry.
That's a shame. Oh, thank you very much, mate. I would stand up, but I don't.
I
think
love
it's
these
tapped, so
glasses.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
very much. Lovely.
They're very
this is
good.
love
You can imagine that.
Well, cheers, everybody.
Yes,
Happy New Year,
cheers.
everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Cheers, cheers,
Frankie.
cheers, cheers.
What's your
Thank you,
favourite cocktail as a mixologist?
I drink roughly everything. It depends by the mood, the day. But if I have to choose something, it would be something with tequila mezcal. Agave.
With tequila mezcal?
Tequila or mezcal.
Okay.
I love agave spirit. I love Mexican spirit. So nowadays, I would say probably Tommy's Margarita.
Right.
Paloma. A drink that no one knows, I mean, not a lot of people know, is called Batanga.
Right.
Which is same of the Cuba Libre. But instead of rum, you have tequila with Coca-Cola and lime juice. It's absolutely amazing.
Delicious.
So on New Year's Eve, if you were out partying tonight, that's what you'd be having, is it?
Probably yes.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
Well, thank you
Very good.
very much
Are
for
you
the
heading out tonight,
education.
Frankie?
To be honest with you, once I finish here, I go back to work.
Okay, you've nipped out.
I take a break because I knew you need some help for tonight, so I just came here to bring some drinks and then
You told your boss you were nipping out for a fag and then here you are. Good to see you on telly here.
Right, thank you so much, Frankie.
Thank you. These cocktails are beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This is a bit of a strange segue, but maybe I could say from spirits to the Holy Spirit. We're going to talk to former chaplain to Queen Elizabeth II, Dr. Gavin Ashenden. Thank you for appreciating that, Darren Grimes. He nearly choked on his drink.
It was good.
Good evening, Gavin. Great to see you. You've got a little tipple there. What is it that you're partaking of this evening, may I ask you?
It's Lefroy. It's my favourite scotch.
You've got a good scotch there. OK, brilliant. Look, we're counting down to midnight here on GB News this evening. And as you sit there contemplating life with your scotch, what's your takeaway from 2024, if you had to sit down and sum up the year, if you could, for us?
I think sadly, the growing grip of censorship, cancellation, and mental instability. And for the whole of this year and the year before, I've been asking, is there a steering wheel and is there a brake? What can we do to change any of this? And on the whole, without GB News and Elon Musk, I think we'd be in a really terrible place. But thank goodness for GB News. Thank goodness for X and Elon Musk, because these are the places where we can at least confront the insanity and the stranglehold on freedom of speech and freedom of views. So as this year comes to an end, it's really to pick up the gauntlet and the struggle, so to save our civilization.
Gavin, that it's Elon Musk, don't we?
No,
Gavin Ashenden, it is Elon.
No, hang on a minute. I enjoyed his rendition.
What did I call it?
The wind.
Elton, Gavin, Elton.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, put it down to the Lefroy. I started earlier than you.
Because Patrick
I knew
just
I
said...
shouldn't have started drinking.
Well, because he is the Rocket Man, of course. Very good, Patrick.
Very good.
That is good.
Thank you so much.
This is why we're paying you the big
obviously
bucks.
what I had in my mind, yes. Freedom of speech, if only we could think of something sensible to say.
It's so interesting hearing you say that is your takeout from 2024, that the censorship that we're living under and the lack of free speech. Did you always feel like that, or is that something that you've become alert to more recently?
I can put it in as briefly as I can. I used to run Bibles in the Soviet Union in the 1980s, and I got arrested by the KGB and interviewed, and I discovered a great deal about totalitarian society. And round about the year 2000, I had this sense it was coming back again. I was working at our most radical university, and I saw that very soon I would find my capacity, even though I had tenure, to speak curtailed. And slowly but surely, from the year 2005 onwards, it was curtailed. And for about 20 years, I've been saying we're in deep trouble unless something changes. Nothing's changed. We're in deep trouble.
Gosh, that's fascinating, isn't it? And so because the influence of universities is significant, and I think we underestimate it, actually, not only here, but also in America, and the way in which they are feeding this idea that there is one way to think and there is one factual narrative to follow. I saw you do a little critique of King Charles's speech this year, his Christmas Day speech, Gavin. So for anybody who didn't see that, can you just tell us what your assessment was of what King Charles was saying?
Yes, I thought one of the most important events of this year was the Stockport riots. And leaving aside what we know and what we don't know, it was the scale of the government lying to us about what had gone on.
In Southport.
And also in South. Sorry, I have been thinking much too much. Southport.
That's okay.
And it was the scale of the government lying and the cover-up and the punishment of the people who had legitimate anxieties. And I thought that if you like, was the hinge of the year for me. So when King Charles said he said about 4 or 5 things, but the 2 things he said that alarmed me enormously was that he came down very hard in his speech against the people who'd gone onto the streets to demonstrate their anxieties. And he used the word diversity. Now, in the last 10 years, you can have used the word diversity a number of times, and it's meant no more than the kind of normal garble speak. But for him to use the word diversity at that moment, in that speech, at that time, this year, was a signal that the speech was intended by the state to shore up the status quo as we'd experienced it this year. And I thought that was just extraordinarily alarming.
Well, we are going to be looking out for all of those sorts of signposts this year in 2025. Gavin, we wish you a very happy new year and all the best for 2025. Dr. Gavin Ashenden.
Thanks,
there.
Gavin.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.
To you, Gavin.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Indeed, lots of freedom of speech, lots of GB news.
Oh, yes.
Well, we'll drink to that.
We should say that we haven't asked everyone at home to send us their pictures of their New Year's Eve setup.
We did right at the top, but we should remind them. You're absolutely right, and it's an email for your pictures. Actually, gbnews@gbnews@gbnews.com. I haven't done that for a while, but send us your messages on gbnews.com/your say as well. Now, talking of our viewers, we love to hear from you. We love to talk to you, not just on our chat forum, but in real life. And we're going to be joined now by David Baum, one of our viewers. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Happy New Year and Happy Christmas, etc.
All of the above. Now, you're looking extremely festive and in a party mood this evening. Where are you, David?
I'm actually at home. We have a bit of fun at home.
Which is where?
Bushing, near Watford.
OK. Brilliant.
So,
and what's the plan? Just keep GB News on? Just put your feet up, enjoy the best entertainment on the TV?
Is there any other station than GB News?
No.
I'm fed up with it. I must tell you, I got bored with everyone telling the same line, saying the same thing. Whatever you watched, ITV, BBC, Sky, they're all saying the same thing. Everything is rosy and everything's bad. And if you want the truth...
David, it's Ben.
BBC is the person, is the group to listen to.
Sorry to interject. It's Ben, David. Happy New Year. When did you start watching the channel? How long have you been a viewer?
When you first started.
So you were
I was very
hardcore
fortunate
loyalist.
to be with Nana and Kirsty Gallagher right at the very beginning as a guest. So there you go.
Wow. And what's your favourite show? Tell us about your viewing habits.
Nana's show on a Saturday. I love that. I love the broad spectrum of guests that she gets. And sometimes it's serious, sometimes not. Some of the panellists are a bit too left for my liking, but the majority, I think, majority are on the same. I'm on the same page with the majority of the panellists.
But really, what he's saying there is that 9 to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday is his favourite show. That rings through, David. No, that shines through. And can I just thank you for that wonderful plug, mate? It means the world.
But David, it's so...
Patrick,
You've got more work to do.
Mate. Patrick, actually really good on TikTok and Insta.
Oh, there we go.
TikTok.
But David, it's so interesting what you say when you say there is no other channel than GB News, because we hear that as presenters, and no doubt all of us sat here, we all hear that, don't we? That when you meet people, they say, I have GB News on all day. That's what they say. You never hear that about any other channel.
Well, I do the inductions, and being an old man, I do all the PT at a gym. And I'm trying to get them to change the channel so it's not on the other side, CGB. And I may win because we're going for an arm wrestling contest at the beginning of the year. And if I win, it goes to GB News.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. That's brilliant.
What do we need to be talking about more, David? If it was up to you, what would we be talking about more?
Keep exposing the truth, not what Keir, Uriah Heep, Ebenezer Scrooge wants us to hear, but the actual truth of what's going on out there. So we actually we can make proper decisions based on fact, not fiction.
Did you always feel like that, David? Like, did you used to watch establishment media and think that they were lying to you, or is it a recent awakening?
No, I'm 66, so I did things like politics at school. And we had debates, and we would talk to question what was going on, not necessarily what we were being told. Read up on it. And my father, late father, used to say to me, just read. The only way you can know what's going on, make informed decisions, is by reading what is happening out there.
Yeah.
And I did that. And I think I've got a granddaughter, and I'm so pleased that she wants to know about what's going on in the world. She's 6 years old, and she wants to know.
Brilliant. Oh. David, Happy New Year.
Yeah. And a Happy New Year. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your support as well. Right, we're going to go to our GB News political editor now, Christopher Hope, who is preparing to see in the new year. Good evening, Christopher.
Oh, wow.
He's got all the family around him. Now, I presume that's not the House of Commons. We normally see you in Westminster. Christopher Hope, where are you?
I'm in Shropshire at a country house party with friends. And happy New Year to all to you, Bevan,
Happy New Year,
and to all of our wonderful viewers and listeners. And it's great to see you. We're looking forward to a great New Year, great 2025. I think lots to talk about next year, Emily and Bev. I think we're going to be seeing Reform and the Tory Party fight off pressure to merge into one right-wing force. I think that Keir Starmer may get the economy back on track, maybe. I think the immigration will still be problems. But anyway, that's for a new year, not for now. We're seeing at the end of 2024 in style.
Chopper, it's Ben. A happy New Year. Good evening to you. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's your first year in television, isn't it? You came over to GB News from the Daily Telegraph. How have you found that transition from print to broadcasting?
Oh, Ben, thank you. And you worked at a tabloid too. You know about the challenge of moving into broadcast. I've absolutely loved it. I love the people at GB News. I love the viewers. I haven't regretted a single day of being on TV. It's a complete honour, frankly, and I love it. And keep watching our channel all through this year.
Christopher, it's Emily here. So tell us. It's been an absolutely massive year. What was the highlight of the year? And also, who is the person behind you who's trying to swallow up your face with their hand? Who is that?
I'm at somewhere called Buntingsdale Hall.
Wow.
Well, with some old friends and some very old friends. But my highlight of the year, Emily, has been I think apart from being in Buntingsdale Hall, has been definitely for me, Emily, definitely the election being called.
Chaos.
No question.
You could be joining the Great British Giveaway list of winners with your chance to grab a fantastic £50,000 in tax-free cash.
My name is Cliff. And my name is Julie. And we won 25,000. I'd say don't hesitate, do it. If you're not in it, you've got no chance of winning it.
For another chance to win, text cash to 63232. One entry costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63232. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start from just £2. You can call 0903 681 3232. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB10 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 6 p.m. on the 31st of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Martin Daubney, weekdays from 3 p.m.
Locals in Abingdon in Oxfordshire have signed a petition to keep the name of their local pub, and it's called The Midget. Now, this comes after a university lecturer led an 11-month campaign to change the name of the pub, and the owners, Green King, have caved in. But locals are fighting back, and GB News spoke to one resident, Leanne Thompson, for her thoughts earlier today.
I'm not feeling great about it, to be honest. You know, it's a pub that's been here for a very long time. It's called The Midget after a MG car, and they're changing it to the Roaring Raindrop, which a lot of people are not happy about. We know why they're changing it, but a lady apparently came in who was very upset at the offensive term for the name midget. But nobody here sees it as an offensive term. You don't see the midget and feel any kind of offence towards that. It's named after a car. If she was to actually come, she might actually know more about it, but apparently she's not even been into the pub. She's just heard about it and broadcasted on social media that she wanted the name changed because it's offensive, which as locals don't feel that way. It's the midget. It will always be the midget. And if you look, it's even still on Midget Close. So I don't know if they're going to change it to the Roaring Raindrop Close.
Do you know, you should walk into the Midget now and go, do you serve shorts? And just keep going on the joke. It's named after a car, the MG Midget, that was manufactured in the town of Abingdon for a while. The car was released in 1961. The Boozer was built in 1974, giving huge pride to the area. It wasn't named after midgets, you know, the Snow White and the 7 vertically challenged individuals variety. It's named after a car.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more. Whether it's breaking royal news, Will, please bring us up to date, or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons.
Very, very curious.
We bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good evening, Britain. It is 11 o'clock. This is New Year's Eve live. The countdown is on.
Well, it is indeed less than 2 hours now. We'll be, welcoming in 2025, won't we?
Oh, yeah, it's 1 hour now. Right now, France is bringing in the new year. These are live pictures from the French capital. Beautiful in Paris. Soon it will be our turn with London's fireworks display set to take place in under an hour. It's not cancelled.
And between now and 1 a.m, we'll be looking back at 2024. All the trials and tribulations, of course. Crucially, though, looking ahead to what 2025 could bring.
And, of course, we'll be live across the United Kingdom as the nation counts down to midnight.
Hello, I'm Tony Maguire and I'm here in Edinburgh where all of the iconic Edinburgh Hogmanay festivities outdoors have been cancelled due to the weather. Now the tens of thousands of people who have made it to Edinburgh to celebrate tonight, well, they're soon to find out that the best cure for dampened Scottish spirits is more Scottish spirits. Join me tonight as I make my way around Edinburgh talking to locals and visitors, a bit of a barfly, as we make the best of it and ring in the new year.
I'm Adam Cherry here in London, where 45-mile-an-hour winds aren't putting off anybody. Thousands already gathering here. Sky will light up with those fireworks behind me at midnight. People expecting a great show. We'll be here for all of it, so stay tuned.
So get your glass of sparkling English wine. Stay with us for our New Year's Eve party.
So over the next few hours, we've got the very best guests, a few surprises for you as well, I think.
A few surprises. It's the most exciting night of the year. We're excited to be spending it with you. This is GB News, New Year's Eve live.
It's 11 p.m. live across the United Kingdom as the countdown to 2025 begins. This is GB News, New Year's Eve, live.
We're going to be going around cities all around the country this evening. We want to hear from you. We're looking at live pictures of Edinburgh here. gbnews.com/your say to let us know what you're doing this evening. Are you enjoying the show? Send us your pictures as well, wherever you are. Keep them clean, please. gbviews@gbnews.com is the email for all your pictures. OK, we're going to be going live, I think, to our reporter, Adam. No, in just a moment, we're going to be going live to our reporter, Adam Cherry. But I think we're just going to chat now about what we're going to look forward to.
Hang on, Bev, look at those pictures of Edinburgh. Does it look like it was this sort of...
I'm so glad you said
wasted, tsunami-laden land?
They've recovered, haven't they? They've recovered. They've bounced back.
But doesn't that typify this year, this idea? Everything is dangerous, everything is scary, apart from the things which actually are dangerous and scary, like the streets of London. We're looking at these pictures here. I think one of you said earlier, Darren, you said they haven't even got coats on.
No, it looks mild.
Look, there's a man with no coat on. There's a woman in a white hat.
Anything can happen here. Hang on, no, stay on this. Don't you dare move. This could go one of two ways.
What's she doing?
I don't know, but we're going to find out,
know who
aren't
that
we?
is.
Nice jacket. Is she
Tony
gonna go
Maguire.
feral, or is she just... Tell you what, Tony Maguire really has changed this. He's come out of his shell. Before I thought, oh, hello, Tony, now, and it's hello, Tony.
Oh, it's Tony Maguire's wife.
Is it actually his wife? Well, let's hope it wasn't if his wife is watching, let's hope it isn't someone he shouldn't have been with. Anyway.
I feel a bit creepy there watching them without him knowing, What if he picked his nose or something, or,
Doesn't that sum up 2024?
Yes.
The weather is going to be awful. Whether it's going to be too hot, it's going to be too cold. We have to change the things we do. We have to move less, have less fun.
No, but
I want to have more fun in 2025.
That's climate change. They will blame that on climate change and say, look, this is totally abnormal. This is climate change. If it's very hot, they'll say it's climate change. If it's very cold, it's climate change.
When you're invited to a party and you're sort of hoping and praying that it'll get cancelled, or you're hoping your friend will cancel the dinner arrangements first. I think people like cancelling things, and I feel like when the councils cancel it, when the authorities cancel it, it kind of gives everyone the sort of green card to cancel their own plans as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we've already paid for
creates
that.
this culture.
We've already paid for that.
Yeah.
Right? Taxpayers have already paid for Edinburgh's Hogmanay celebration. So they've cancelled it. We're still paying for it. It's not happened.
Can't they get a refund on the fireworks they haven't set up? Like, presumably, if the taxpayer buys...
Do they keep?
Thousands.
The fireworks keep?
I don't know the answer to that question. Perhaps someone at home does.
All the big issues.
Can you keep your fireworks for next year? Can you? Question.
Can we send them abroad to a country in need of fireworks?
Oh.
Where is Starmer?
Madeira.
Madeira, that's it.
Yeah.
Why is he in Madeira? Do we know why he's in Madeira? That's quite a strange choice, isn't it, though?
It's a warmish, I guess.
He's literally never here.
Yeah,
I mean, how many air miles, how many hours has he spent in a plane?
Never hear Keir.
Well, he did infamously say Davos over Westminster.
Yeah,
he did. He did. That will haunt him.
Let's look forward then to 2025. Emily. For me, it's Donald Trump in January, the inauguration, January the 20th. I think that could be the trigger which changes so much. I am desperately hoping that him and his administration come in with a vision and ideology that actually a lot of people in this country would be quite happy to see here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder whether there will be a positive impact on this country, whether it will actually affect anything from our perspective.
I think there'll
or
be
will
lots
actually, will it inspire people in this country? Will Donald Trump do a good job? Will some of his economic policies damage us, maybe?
I think
don't
we'll
know.
have lots of people this side of the pond looking across to the US and imagining and hoping that we could have the same
Especially
thing.
on energy
bills. The thing is, if it works, if the Trump blueprint works, then you have to replicate it across the West.
Yeah.
Right? And there can be no excuse for not replicating it. Orange man bad doesn't wash anymore.
No.
Right? So if he gets it right, which hopefully he will, and you look around at that cabinet and, or the people around him, and you think about the not just the money, but the years, the accumulated business acumen that they've got, right? And you think, that is talent. Yeah, Elton Musk, who's playing in Stop.
And you compare that to Starmer's cabinet.
Yeah, no, seriously, and you think, OK, if he gets it right, then we copy-paste here.
But can you imagine how painful that would be for a Labour government in this country to
It's not gonna happen.
anything that the Republicans are doing in America?
It's just not going to happen,
He just
is
won't do it. I just don't think Keir Starmer will. And then I think there's tension bills to the next election, and then what? I think that's where probably the interest is going to lie.
Well, May at the council elections is the big one, isn't it?
Well,
That'll be the litmus test for...
We keep coming back to the
reform.
council elections.
We do.
You two can't wait.
We can't. I'm so excited.
Listen, let's go to Adam Cherry now, who is at Primrose Hill for us in London. Good evening, Adam. Where are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm live here on Primrose Hill. It's getting pretty busy here. In the last hour or so, thousands of people arriving. It's you're not supposed to be letting off fireworks here, but a few people have been a bit cheeky and letting them go already, so a little bit premature. But the atmosphere here, pretty good. Looking forward to it. I have to say, this view here, I'm biased, but I think we've got the best view out of everybody in about, just under an hour now. The place behind me is going to light up. It's going to be a fantastic show. Wind picking up a little bit, but I have to say it's not too bad at the moment. So hopefully it stays this way, and we'll have a great New Year's Eve party, everybody.
Do we know what's going to be the feature of the fireworks tonight? Obviously, we know that anything Sadiq Khan touches tends to sort of have the woke-ometer going, off the scale. I think we've got a drone display as well this evening. Do we know what's going to be in it, Adam?
I'm not sure. I mean, the drones is an interesting one because with the wind, that might affect their plans. Obviously, they have to be able to turn on a sixpence here because of the weather conditions. So we have heard that if the weather make last-minute adjustments, and I suspect that the drones will be the first thing that fall for obvious reasons. So we're not sure. We'll wait and see. But either way, there were some suggestions that this was going to be cancelled entirely, as we saw, in Edinburgh and Blackpool. But here, it's carrying on.
Yeah, Adam, how windy is it up there on Primrose Hill? It's Emily, by the way. How windy is it up there? Because it's been quite windy near here by the studio, and I was worried that maybe something might be cancelled. But you're saying it's only the drones. I don't know what's funny.
Maybe only the drones. Yeah, you know what? As I speak, here comes another gust. But actually, no, it's not been too bad. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it carries on like it is and doesn't get too much worse. Luckily, no rain either. The clouds are treating us fairly well, so it should be all right. And you'll see, like I said, in just under an hour, how great a show London can put on. I think it's going to be a good one.
Adam, it's Ben. Can I ask your own personal highlights of this year, of 2024? What's been a special standout moment for you?
Oh, do you know what? In the summer, I went to Pamplona and ran with the bulls. So it's not to everyone's taste, but I have to say that was pretty fun. Although you have to do it at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had one of the worst hangovers of my life. But that soon wakes you up, I can promise you. So that was pretty cool. Presenting on GB News for the first time, that was fun, but nothing matches that, I have to say. The excitement of that was pretty fun.
Go on, let a firework off.
Yeah.
No.
Go on.
Patrick Christmas, we can't let Adam let off a firework on Primrose
Let a firework.
Hill.
Patrick, I'm trying to get. I don't want to get thrown off air. I'm trying to be well behaved.
You're doing quite a good job.
Just be patient. In a few minutes. In a few minutes.
May I just say one thing? May I just say one thing, Adam? You are with me tomorrow morning on this very channel, aren't you? So stay safe out there on Primrose Hill. Don't get, a rocket, launching near you or anything like that. We don't want to see any injuries. Stay safe.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But you're right. Stay tuned for tomorrow because that'll be a belt of a show. Very good promotion. Fantastic. 10 o'clock tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Adam there in Primrose Hill in London. We're going to go to Edinburgh now. Speaks GB News Scotland reporter Tony Maguire. Tony, you're mixing with a few revellers as well, I believe. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, so we're in Rose Street in the new town in Edinburgh just now, and it's cold, but you might notice that it's absolutely not pouring down with rain, that the wind is behaving itself, and a lot of people are wondering, was it maybe a little preemptive to cancel that Hogmanay street party? We've been talking to so many people tonight who are here from all across England, all across the UK, and even all across the world. Some people coming, from as far as the States. We spoke to a lady earlier from Arizona, but everybody, there's a common theme here. Everyone is making the most of it, right? Everybody is here to celebrate, have some fun, have quite a lot of drinks, quite frankly, from what I've seen, and really just absolutely make the most of it. It is cold in Edinburgh, but nobody really cares. You know what it's like. A few kind of Bacardi breezers back, and then the skin gets so much thicker.
I mean, come on, Tony, we're all looking at this and thinking, what's gone wrong with the Scots? Come on, you're made of harder stuff than this. You walk around in kilts.
That is kind of part of it. I mean, I have heard tonight that this is only the third time in 30 years that this event has been cancelled. I can speak from personal experience that I've covered it in the absolute lashing rain before, so it was a bit of a surprise to see that this is cancelled. Certainly organisers must have thought that, particularly with the rigging, with the stage, we believe, in the arena, that may have formed a big part of it. But, it is New Year's Eve, so we're trying to be a wee bit more positive, and everybody who I've spoke to is just brushed it off, water off the duck's back, if you like, and really just making the most of it. It's getting really busy here in the new town just now. This is probably the main thoroughfare. Up that end is where people get drunk, and then up that way is where people get even more drunk. So this is the highway, the super highway tonight in Edinburgh.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tony. Tony Maguire there, where there is no Hogmanay party because of the weather.
It's silly.
I share your frustration, Darren, with this. I can't bear this.
It's this safetyism. I hate it, Bev.
I hate it so much. What's happened to our backbone in this country? There used to be, no such thing as bad weather, just the wrong clothes. And I still believe that. But surely Scotland, he said 3 times in 30 years.
The only thing I will say is if the warnings were really bad, and they generally thought there would be a threat to life. Imagine if you went down there with your family and something happened. So just,
But wasn't there always?
Maybe it's turned out okay, but maybe it wasn't
life
planned
full of
to.
risk?
Yeah. True, it is.
But that would have always been, there's always a risk of any public event containing, we have
Can I
risk
just say,
assessments.
also, not that great. I mean, do we all remember the last time that there was that massive earthquake in Scotland? No. Exactly.
No.
Fine. It's 99.9%. It's fine. It's not going to be a tornado, is it?
Do you know what we haven't spoke about? What we would normally be doing on New Year's Eve. Now, we are all obviously very excited and grateful to be here.
Oh, absolutely.
The fact is we had no better offer. Not one of us, right? No, we really want to be here tonight. But what would you normally do, Ben, on New Year's Eve?
Some years, maybe a couple of years back, we go down the seafront and let off Chinese lanterns, which in this day and age would probably be construed as
Dangerous.
UFOs or UAPs or something.
And racist.
Cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation.
But yeah, that's always been quite nice. I mean, I'm much more sedate than, say, 15 years ago.
Now you've got little ones as well.
I'll be in a boot.
Yeah, because it's going to bed late, it's getting up early in the morning with the little ones. Darren, how about you? Party animal, New Year's Eve?
Normally, especially if I'm in London, but when I'm at home, I like to spend it with my nana, to be honest, who'll be on in a bit. So, Nana, if you're watching... Yes, yeah, she is a Grimesy. If we'll get her on, but she, 90 years old, and she's absolutely superb. She is.
Yeah,
she's superb.
brilliant.
Fantastic.
And she loves GB News, so well done you, Nana.
What about you, Bev?
Do you know, my eldest son is called Croyd after the beach in Devon, and so we used to often go down to Croyd Bay in North Devon, and we would go to this amazing pub called the Thatch, which always has fancy dress on New Year's Eve.
Sounds nice.
And do a fancy dress and then go in the sea, surfing first thing New Year's Day morning, the freezing cold. But obviously I'm divorced now, so we don't do that anymore. But that's not a bad thing. I'd rather be here, right? Just to be clear. But now I think we didn't really. I always think there's a lot of anticipation, isn't there, for New Year's Eve, and then it can be a bit disappointing. And it is expensive out there at this time of the year.
What about you two?
Warehouse rave, mate. Warehouse rave, and then
You've never taken me to a warehouse rave?
No, it's kind of hit and miss, isn't it? Really, I spend it with loved ones. I also like, spending it with my family and my grandma as well. Really.
Used to like a house party, the desperate quest for a New Year's Eve kiss, if you were single.
Do you like the promise of New Year, Emily? The optimism of a new year, new start?
I do, but I must admit that there have been times this year where that optimism perhaps has wavered a little with the state of things, not to be too negative.
But this year's going to be better.
Our work life has been fantastic, so hopefully there'll be more of that to come. And hopefully things will, be looking brighter.
Yeah, and we have very good friends in Wales. The last couple of years we've been down to house party in Wales. Steve and Sean, I know they're watching tonight as well. Because we gave them an excuse. I said, look, I can't be with you tonight, but you can watch me on the telly, so happy New
cheers
Year
to them.
To you guys as well. You know what we haven't talked about yet is looking back on this year. I wanted to remind ourselves of the fact that we've had this election, which has been so significant. But Rishi Sunak calling the election at the time that he did, in the way that he did in 2024, was the metaphor of him stood there outside of Downing Street with the rain pouring down upon him. Do you remember?
Shocking, yeah, shocking.
Shocking.
Oh dear, that
it was almost
bad.
intentional for me. The way they paraded, had him there soaking, drenched. It was almost as if they were trolling us.
Yeah.
And there's loads of conspiracy theories doing the rounds about why he called it then, because it doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
Interest rates were coming down, inflation was coming down. They had the fastest growing economy in the G7. Why would you call it then? Lots of people saying because they knew what was coming on the horizon. Maybe he couldn't stop the boats, and he knew that, and he'd have to fall on his sword. But
we could,
or maybe it was personal reasons.
Wanted to go to
do
California.
it before the summer.
I mean, to be honest,
you can set up for the next academic year.
Well, that's the shocking thing.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to ride off into the sunset in California.
That's why I thought he called it, because he thought, I know I'm going to lose.
I'm done.
I'm off. California, here I come.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
And how extraordinary that he couldn't sell to the public the fact that he was the man of integrity to stay there. Like, none of us saw that coming, did we?
No.
But we all thought, he's the technocrat, he's going to go
does everyone miss him?
Well, it's interesting.
I never thought I would.
Possibly, yes.
It's interesting how he was right about certain things.
Yeah.
The Tories came off the bat. Look, I think it was. They did deserve a bit of a kicking, right? I think it had gone on for too long, right? But he was right about the fact they're queuing up in Calais. He was right about Starmer lying about your taxes. He was right about, and it just, unfortunately for him, it felt so disingenuous.
Yeah.
But actually, he was right about it, and I do wonder, do you think he would be outperforming Kemi now?
Oh yeah.
There was a last appearance that he made during the election campaign where suddenly he sort of changed and he had all of this energy.
Yeah.
But it came far too soon. I can't remember what the event was exactly, but suddenly he was this man who was fighting for it.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen that from him. We'd seen a deflated man in the rain with not that much to say.
Yeah.
And then
also,
something came, but it was too late. It was too late for him.
After he resigned, he was at the dispatch box with Keir Starmer. Again, another barnstorming performance. Everybody was saying, hang on a minute, where was this 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was not so much a problem with Rishi personally, it was a Tory branding issue. I think whoever was in that hot seat was destined to fail because the trust had gone.
The woman who is in the hot seat now, I don't want to interrupt you there, Ben, but Kemi Badenoch, she's given us her New Year's Eve speech as well. So let's have a quick look at it.
Happy New Year. Like all of you, I am looking forward to a 2025 that is full of hope, security and prosperity. The Conservative Party is also going through a period of change. This process of renewal will be a long-term project. Things may be bumpy along the way, but the party I now lead is going to do things differently. Watch this space.
Badly lit, badly staged, not from the heart, trite. Darren?
Oh, it's uninspiring. You know, I think a damp rag, frankly, would inspire us more right now, more charisma. I love Kemi. I think, actually, Bev, on everything that you and I agree on, which could be the protecting children from trans ideology and all these other things, she has been so robust. Where's that lady? Where's that lady?
Can I just say, though, on that point, speaking out against trans ideology in children, that's not really a brave thing to do.
It was, though, yes. You say that. No. You say that, but people actually lost their jobs. People were being banned off Twitter at the time for saying that biological sex was a reality.
I lost a job speaking on International Women's Day. This is years ago. This is probably 10 years ago. I was going to talk at a legal firm about International Women's Day and being a working mum, and I cancelled. The gigs got cancelled. There's a few of them because I had liked an article in the Daily Mail written by Graham Linehan, where he was saying that women's toilets should remain women's toilets. It did not seem controversial to me. And I got the phone call to say that there was one trans lawyer in that legal firm who had called a board meeting and said, that Beverly Turner, she can't be talking at our International Women's Day. Now, I think we've come a long way since then, actually. I think.
Especially Graham. And good for him, I say.
Graham has come a long way, yeah. He's the right.
How did you feel when that happened? Were you angry or were you upset?
I was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Okay.
I couldn't understand it. And I spoke to one of the lawyers there that I knew, and I said, what's happened? And she was just like, you know, we're just very apologetic. This one person, she was just like, oh, you know what it's like, Bev, like somebody has to complain. We have to uphold their complaints. Yeah, and it was about pandering the tyranny of the minority, right?
I feel uncomfortable. I feel under threat if this woman, Beverly Turner, comes and speaks. Yeah.
We covered a segment on my show before this, which is the percentage of trans people in male prisons who have committed sex offences. It's like 62%.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah. We've got to move on.
That bombshell.
But on that bombshell, but that isn't the answer. We could put that as a quiz question.
How many? No.
That we are asking you is immediately after winning the UK general election on July the 4th, how many Labour MPs made up Sir Keir Starmer's majority in Parliament? Was it 326, 402, 411 or 422? We'll be revealing the answer.
Tom Harwood when you need him.
This short break. This is New Year's Eve live only on GB News.
If you want your news to be straight talking,
this is a nightmare for the Conservatives again.
Down to earth.
It's not just Nottingham where this is happening, is it?
And most importantly, honest.
Hard-working, middle-class taxpayers, they'll get the book thrown at them.
Then catch me, Martin Daubney, Monday to Friday, 3 till 6 p.m. on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Every Saturday, 10 till 12, we'll bring you all of the news that you need to know. We'll also remind you that there is so much to smile about.
It's my favourite time of the week. I get to relax, enjoy some light-hearted stories, and let Ellie teach me about fashion too.
That's Saturday Morning Live, every Saturday, 10 till 12.
Only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
Robert Walton has been jet-setting in recent weeks in Singapore for the YYY Awards and then back to London to host the inaugural Restaurant Association Awards.
Yep, and after many years in the industry, Robert also knows a thing or two about how to create the perfect Christmas. And it's all in the preparations. We're going to be asking him about that as well. I'm delighted to say that the godfather of hospitality, Robert Walton, MBE, joins us now on the sofa.
Morning, Robert.
Robert,
Good
so
morning.
good to see you. And what a busy few weeks you have had. Should we start with the YYY Awards?
Yeah.
Because I think it's just wonderful who you celebrated at those awards.
So, the YYY, young chef, young waiter, young mixologist. And it's a competition that's created around the world. So people from all around the world can apply. So this year we had 9 countries, from India to the Caribbean, from the USA to Scotland and England. And so we had 27 young professionals. The average age was about 24.
Wow.
All coming to Singapore. So we flew everyone to Singapore. We create what I call the Olympic Village. We create a little village for them, and it's in a very cool spot with great bars. And then we have the competition. And this year, I can now announce, I was here just a few weeks ago before we had the competition, that the USA won, which was absolutely incredible. Thailand was second. And gorgeous Wales was third.
Yes. Well done, Wales.
Well done, Wales.
We now expect to have a good meal. There's no reason why you shouldn't have good food. The key now is the service, because there's no reason why you don't have good service. And good service is not that difficult. Smile, to start with. It really isn't that difficult. It's called hospitable. We call the industry, or the sector we look after, is the hospitality industry, which is all about being hospitable.
GB News, the People's Channel.
I'm Christopher Hope. From pop stars to politicians, I'll interview anybody in a pub who's got a political opinion. Join me every Friday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube or gbnews.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. This is GB News, the People's Channel.
Welcome back to New Year's Eve, live here only on GB News. Before the break, we asked you our latest quiz question in how many Labour MPs made up Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's majority in Parliament.
Drum roll.
I've scrolled on too far, they've seen the answer. Did you know the answer, Patrick Christis?
No, I did not, no.
I knew the answer, 411, 411.
That's probably because you sit next to Tom Harwood every day.
Yeah, I would learn. I'm like a sponge.
Definitely. Right, 411 was the answer. Now we are joined. I'm delighted to say, are they ready? Are they ready? Farmer Gareth Wynne-Jones and his wife Rhiann. Good evening to you both.
Farmageddon.
It's Farmageddon. Here they are, Gareth and Rhiann. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Now, listen, it must be quite a sort of poignant New Year's Eve for you as farmers. There's a lot to think about. You're on the precipice of a very, very important year, aren't you, Gareth, 2025?
Yeah, every year is important because we're here to feed the nation. So, my family's been here for 375 years doing exactly the same job, challenging governments and policies and different aspects of what we do, especially the weather. It's wet, wild and windy in Wales at the moment. So, we're inside having a little small one before we hit 12 o'clock tonight.
Now, farmers don't normally complain about the weather. I don't want to point that out to you, Gareth, but you have had quite a lot.
You got that one wrong.
You've got quite a lot to complain about at the moment, obviously. Did you ever imagine, Rhiann, if I can come to you, did you ever imagine that you'd be staring down the barrel of 2025 and this inheritance tax imposition, effectively, which could change the British landscape forever?
I never, ever, in all my dreams, would never imagine such a thing because it's so ridiculous. No, never. It's just such a shock to us all.
Rhiann, it's Emily here. I was just wondering, do you come from a farming family yourself, or have you married into it?
No, I come from a long line of farmers from Anglesey. Lineage going back to 398 AD, so it's a long, long, long time. That's how we got that far, because they were landowners. So yes, farming's in my blood, and both grandparents were farming, so it means a lot to us.
Well, that just shows, doesn't it?
It does. And Gareth there.
Yeah, and can I say as well, we've become grandparents for the first time.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, but I've got to sleep with the grandmother, but we'll leave that one there. But, let's get on a serious note. And it's it's a poignant time for our families, all our families, and we need to protect it. And can I say one thing? Because I really believe that I need to congratulate you at GB News, because you've been fantastic. Every single one of you there, you know who I am, you know how I speak. I'm honest. I never hide away from the truth. And you have been a fantastic news channel, a vessel, and a way for us to get the message out there. And that's really important, because we have had so much support from the general public going forward. And, I think in 2025, we are going to make a difference. And I'm not going to make this political, but I am going to make it British, because we need to make sure that we're producing affordable, sustainable, healthy food for our nation. And we cannot keep carrying on what we're doing as we are with all these legislations and laws which are putting working people on their knees.
On that point, Gareth, John has written in, and John says, please tell Gareth and Rianne we love them very much and are behind them. So, I think over your appearances on GB News, you really have touched a lot of people. So, thank you to you for your work and your activism, because I honestly, there isn't enough of a love and pouring of love for what you guys put yourselves through every day, whether it be Christmas or whatever else.
I think we're one nation, and, we need to build a better Britain on our bellies, and the farmers are part of that, and we need a farming food revolution. And if you look across the world, every country is struggling. Every country is struggling to feed their population. If this country doesn't take food security as the top of the notch, I'm going to tell you, people are going to go hungry. And what really scares me, is the poorer people in society are going to suffer. And I don't want that, because as a farmer, I want to feed people affordably. And if we can work together to find solutions, whatever the governments are, and whatever them people are sitting in Whitehall and in, the walls of power, they need to listen to the people that are on the cold front. And that's us. We've lost every other industry. And farming is one of the last industries we've got left that is feeding the nation. Please get behind us. We want to make sure there is a future for our children and our grandchildren on these farms. We've had hundreds of years here.
Fantastic.
We can't afford to lose.
OK, Gareth, Rianne, Wyn-Jones, thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, guys. All the best.
Happy New Year.
And I think that is the phrase of the night for me. Build a better Britain on our bellies.
Yeah.
Have any other better way of doing it.
There we go. Our catchphrase from now on.
Right, let's catch up with GB News presenter Leo Kearse, find out what he's up to this evening. Good evening, Leo. How does the Kearse family celebrate New Year's Eve? Where are you?
Most of us are in bed, because I've got a toddler, so the toddler needs to go to sleep well before midnight. She can't be looking at any fireworks that'll wake her right up. So my wife's in bed with a toddler, and I'm sitting here. I've just got a traditional Scottish can of Bud Light. It's the only beer I drink these days. And honestly, it does. I can understand why people drink it to transition, because it does make you bad at driving. So it helps. Make your transition more convincing.
Dylan Mulvaney reference there. Very good, very good. Leo, looking back on 2024 for you, what have been the highlights? I mean, it's the year, really, one of many years recently where satire died, made your job quite difficult, because often the reality was worse than you could have made up as a comedian. But looking back, some of the weirdest moments for you, maybe?
I mean, so many weird moments. I think when Joe Biden appeared on camera and said, "I'm going to come in the overflow room," that was, I mean, at that point there was no debate that he was either up to some weird sexual practices or definitely, cognitively impaired. But what a year we had! We had incredible highs and we had incredible lows as well. But I feel really positive.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Turning very unsettled as we head into the new year. Outbreaks of rain and snow, very windy, particularly across the south, with multiple Met Office warnings in force. That's all because low pressure is taking hold of our weather, dragging in some frontal systems, so some heavy and persistent outbreaks of rain. Also, we're squeezing the eyes of us with some quite blustery winds as we head into the overnight period. Outbreaks of rain set to linger across parts of Wales, northern England. This could be heavy and persistent at times. Plenty of showers to the north of this falling as snow across parts of Scotland, across hills and also to lower levels, and brings a risk of ice towards the morning too. Driest across the south, where it will be fairly mild overnight, but later on through the day we'll eventually see that rain start to creep in. So for the first day of the new year across Scotland, remaining unsettled, still plenty of showers, these falling as snow at times, particularly across the north, the Northern Isles, for example, too. And it also brings in a risk of ice to start the day. We may see some clearer spells across Northern Ireland, but plenty of showers around northern and western coasts, and a very wet start across central parts of England and Wales, parts of the southwest too. This rain still heavy and persistent at times, and it will slowly edge its way towards the southeast too. So quite a damp day on offer across parts of the south. To the north of this, we may see some clearer spells, but plenty of showers. Once again, these falling as snow, mainly across hills, but once again, we could see some to lower levels, particularly across parts of Scotland. And it's going to feel very cold here, particularly in the brisk northerly wind, and feeling rather chilly under cloudy skies to the south too. Still very windy across those southern coasts. Heading into Thursday, there will be more sunshine around, but likely to start the day off with a very sharp frost. Still plenty of showers around too, particularly around coastal areas, where once again they could fall as snow, particularly in the north. And as we finish off the week, it's likely to remain cold with a risk of frost and also some ice. That's it from me. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Britain.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for subscribing.
Thank you for your support.
It's you that make us the People's Channel.
As we reflect on our journey so far, we're filled with immense gratitude.
You mean the world to us. We couldn't have reached this point without you.
As a very special thank you, we are giving you the chance to win one of 50 GB News thank you boxes. They're worth £50 each.
For full terms and conditions, and to enter, just go to gbnews.com/thank you.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more.
Whether it's breaking royal news,
Will, please bring us up to date.
or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons.
Very, very curious.
We bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and I'm going to take a second to tell you all about my show, Dubes & Co. We start off with the issues of the day. We then bring in both sides of the argument. We get rid of the disrespect. And then you throw me into the mix. And trust me, I'll tell it exactly how it is. And then, of course, the magic ingredient, you at home. We mix it all together, and what have we got? In my opinion, the best debate show in town. Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on GB News, Britain's news channel.
It's Patrick Christie's Tonight, and here we do things differently.
It's explaining the absolute madness of this, doesn't it?
It's explosive.
I mean, this is very good.
It's lively.
850. Your government sat there, Sean, and it did nothing.
It's controversial.
And the Middle East has been in turmoil since before I was born.
It's everything you need to kickstart your evening.
Everyone's had their Weetabix tonight. I love to see it.
That's Patrick Christie's Tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Camilla Tominey, for a frank and honest discussion with those in power that cuts through the spin and gets to the heart of the issues shaping our nation.
You haven't confirmed that you want to stand as leader, but you haven't ruled it out either.
This report basically says that he's not fit to stand trial. Is he indecisive? Incompetent? I deliver the dose of reality Westminster needs. That's the Camilla Tominey Show at 9:30 every Sunday on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Dewberry and I'm going to take a second to tell you all about my show, Jubes & Co. We start off with the issues of the day. We then bring in both sides of the argument. We get rid of the disrespect. And then you throw me into the mix. And trust me, I'll tell it exactly how it is. And then, of course, the magic ingredient, you at home. We mix it all together and what have we got, in my opinion, the best debate show in town. Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on GB News, Britain's news channel.
It's Patrick Christie's Tonight, and here we do things differently. It's explaining the absolute madness of this, doesn't it? It's explosive. I mean, this is very good. It's lively.
850. Your government sat there, Sean, and it did nothing.
It's controversial. And the Middle East has been in turmoil since before I was born. It's everything you need to kickstart your evening. Everyone's had their Weetabix tonight. I love to see it. That's Patrick Christie's Tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good Afternoon Britain isn't just about us. The wonderful thing about this programme is it's about everyone watching. It's an interactive programme.
Well, there absolutely is something to see here, and we're going to be talking about it more. Whether it's breaking royal news, Will, please bring us up to date, or indeed a particularly punchy speech in the House of Commons.
Very, very curious.
We bring it to you live, and then we bring you live reaction as well.
That's Good Afternoon Britain, weekdays from midday.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Dewberry and I'm going to take a second to tell you all about my show, Jubes & Co. We start off with the issues of the day. We then bring in both sides of the argument. We get rid of the disrespect. And then you throw me into the mix. And trust me, I'll tell it exactly how it is. And then, of course, the magic ingredient, you at home. We mix it all together and what have we got, in my opinion, the best debate show in town. Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on GB News, Britain's news channel.
It's Patrick Christie's Tonight, and here we do things differently. It's explaining the absolute madness of this, doesn't it? It's explosive. I mean, this is very good. It's lively.
850. Your government sat there, Sean, and it did nothing.
It's controversial. And the Middle East has been in turmoil since before I was born. It's everything you need to kickstart your evening. Everyone's had their Weetabix tonight. I love to see it. That's Patrick Christie's Tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Every Saturday, 10 till 12, we'll bring you all of the news that you need to know. We'll also remind you that there is so much to smile about.
It's my favourite time of the week. I get to relax, enjoy some light-hearted stories, and let Ellie teach me about fashion too.
That's Saturday Morning Live, every Saturday, 10 till 12.
Only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
I'm Bev Turner. Thank you for joining us on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Dewberry and I'm going to take a second to tell you all about my show, Jubes & Co. We start off with the issues of the day. We then bring in both sides of the argument. We get rid of the disrespect. And then you throw me into the mix. And trust me, I'll tell it exactly how it is. And then, of course, the magic ingredient, you at home. We mix it all together and what have we got, in my opinion, the best debate show in town. Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to New Year's Eve live on GB News. We're sorry about that. There's a bit of a technical glitch there.
Someone
Any
backstage
idea?
has had a few too many Prosecco's.
Someone's
maybe.
interfering, eh?
I reckon
Sabotage.
Sadiq Khan was behind that, I think,
That's
because
who it
we are
is.
going to be bringing you the fireworks this evening at midnight. Stay with us. What have we got? 18 minutes to go, just less than 17 minutes to go. It's just flicked over. We want to see, we've been asking this evening to show us what you're doing this evening, so a lot of you have been in touch. Daniel and his wife watching GB News tonight. Here they are.
Oh, lovely.
There they are.
Thanks so
How
much.
lovely. Thank you, Daniel. Paul and his pal Ruby. Where are they? There we go. Oh, Ruby is a dog.
Oh, cutie.
Lovely. Thank you, Paul. And also, Andrew has sent in a picture.
Pierce?
No. Is it Andrew Pierce? No. Hello,
Tootle.
Andrew.
He misses you so much. He wanted to get in contact on New Year's.
He definitely will not be missing me. Nikki...
Yeah, what's Andrew up to tonight, eh?
I don't know. I'm sure he'll be somewhere glamorous and zhuzhy and, you know, having a lovely time. Nikki, Martin and Isaac have also been in touch. Here they are. I
Oh, is
can't
that GBM
quite
Bauble?
see that. That's a GB News bauble.
Oh, fantastic.
I love those.
Stuff.
They are brilliant,
And a
aren't
very
they?
small glass of wine there, perhaps half drunk.
We have a real problem with guests trying to nick those, you know.
Do we?
Yeah, the baubles.
Really?
The GB News baubles,
We've
yeah.
got a couple
And
of
staff, I hear. The director says.
Can I just own up? I nicked one. It's on my mum's
did,
tree.
yeah.
So
You didn't?
Yeah.
You did?
You did what, sorry?
I
Patrick
nicked a bauble.
Christie's nicked a bauble.
Yeah, I did.
Imagine if we all did that.
From that tree, yeah.
Imagine if we all did that. There'd be no
Yes.
baubles left,
Imagine
would
if I
there?
got in there
One
first.
rule for you, eh?
Look, hey, no one noticed, did they? No one noticed. So, yeah.
You've still got time to bring it back in. If you were my son, Patrick, I'd make you bring it back
you're
in.
feeling very guilty.
I once caught him shoplifting on a caravan site, him and his mate, when they were about
Me
6
now,
years
you-
old.
oh,
Not
right,
you.
okay,
No,
fine,
not you.
yeah.
And I made
Wasn't me.
him and his mate take the frisbee back and hand
How
it
old
in.
were they?
Humiliated, about 7 or 8, something like
Yeah, that's
that.
good parenting.
for you, yeah.
Well done,
Yeah,
Bev.
so, Patrick Christie's.
OK, I'll bring it back. I promise. I'll bring it back.
Right, Mitch and her partner have been in touch and sent us this picture.
Oh.
There we go, with toasting us.
Are
Good
they
evening
in
to
the
you
pub? Oh, actually, sorry, they tweeted me. Hello, guys. Thank you for that picture. I think you're in the pub.
They're doing a cheers.
Yeah, nice one.
Oh,
Cheers
brilliant.
to you guys.
Happy New Year. Brendan, as well, has been in touch. Here's Brendan.
Hey, Happy New Year,
We got us on the telly. Excellent stuff.
Fantastic. And Chris as well. Hello, Chris. Oh, there I am in the background of your shots. There we go.
Lovely.
Fantastic, Chris.
It's nice
Thank you
that we're in
for
so many
watching.
people's front rooms. This.
I know, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Fantastic, isn't it? Right, send your images in, gbviews at gbnews.com. Is that
Yeah,
right?
well done, well done.
We haven't been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
gbnews.com/your-sake, because you can talk to each other as well.
You know what? There are a lot of smiles out there. So
Yes.
there is a lot of optimism. You know, there's been a little bit of looking back on the year and thinking, you know, it could have gone better in a lot of ways. But optimism for the future.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you all your predictions for 25? Doesn't have to be political, can be anything, for, you know, sport, whatever, I don't know. Your predictions, Emily? One prediction for 25?
Keir Starmer gets knifed in the back and a new Labour leader.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, you didn't need to...
Well, actually, Emily, I did need to say that. Manchester United just about survived the relegation.
Oh, do you think they will?
Well, survive? Yeah, I don't think they're going to get relegated.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure.
I mean,
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm a very happy Newcastle United fan. Yeah, well, no, they're not at the bottom, but they're hovering around the bottom.
Yeah, well, there you go. No, there's lots that could happen. I think it's... Oh, hang on. I think we might be able to introduce Andrea Jenkins into the fray, can we? There we go. Happy New Year.
There she is. Good evening, Andrea.
Happy New Year.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us. Well, you've had quite the year, defected, if you like, to the Reform Party from the Conservatives. You're going to be standing for Mayor of Lincolnshire in the spring, I think. How's it all going?
I think it's exciting, actually. I haven't felt buzzing like this since we got Brexit, actually, Bev. And no, I think that, as Emily's just said, I think we're going into a year of optimism now. It's been a tough few years for everybody, hasn't it, really? And excited about the mayoral election. And yeah, I think the only way is up. I mean, I think we should start, actually. Should we raise a glass for GB News? You know, may you continue to fly and keep speaking up for the public.
Well, we will certainly toast that. Patrick, do you want to have a quick word?
What are you going to do, Andrea, when it comes to actually doing some kind of deal with the Tories, right? Because, you know, look, at some point something's going to have to happen, because otherwise it's just going to be Labour forever, isn't it?
I mean, as you know, Patrick, I mean, I've been on your show quite a few times discussing this, haven't I? That before the general election, I tried to bring both sides together. But I think, I mean, well, what Kem has said this week, that's trampled on a lot of things. I mean, not that Nigel wants to do a deal anyway, but look at the membership, 155,000 at the moment. We're still 4 to 4.5 years away from election. And what I found remarkable, actually, you know, campaigning across Lincolnshire is the amount of people coming from the Labour Party. So that's quite unusual, isn't it, for a party? So we are pulling from both. So I think that, look, watch this space the next few years. We could end up doing like what happened in the Reform Party in Canada.
You must, Andrea, when you're talking to people and you're campaigning for that mayoral position in Lincolnshire, some people must say that they're happy with the Labour government and they're happy with the way things are going. If they do express that, what are they content with?
Genuinely, I haven't met anybody. Unless they stay away from me, that's possible, isn't it? But no, I haven't met anybody. The most people have got buyer's remorse, actually. I've had people who have come up to me even when I've sort of been on the streets in Grantham, etc., on the streets as in handing leaflets out, saying that, you know, we wanted change, but we didn't realise how bad it was going to be. So I think there's a lot of buyer's remorse there.
Andrea, good evening. It's Ben. Hope you're well. Merry Christmas. A Happy New Year to you.
By the way, can I introduce my puppy, Gretel?
Beautiful.
What a sweetheart.
First Christmas, yeah.
What a sweetheart. Andrea, I heard, maybe you can clarify, I heard some whispers that perhaps one Liz Truss may be mooting, defecting to Reform UK. Have you heard that? And on top of that, any other Tories that could be on the way?
I mean, I haven't heard names, but I've heard, I've had conversations myself with former Conservative MPs who want to come over and councillors as well. So I think watch his space. I'm sure you'll see some defections over the coming weeks and months.
Had you heard that rumour about Liz?
Not specifically about Liz. I mean, do you know what was lovely? The people who, when I did defect, you know, people like Liz contacted me, Suella, Boris, Carrie, you know, they've been really lovely. And, you know, I raise a glass to them. You know, this is what friendship's about, isn't it, really? I
mean, Andrea, I'm very impressed by your tree. I must say you've done beautifully well there. You really have. That's quite the festive display.
Do you know that's a £40 B&M one? You know, because I usually get trees and they die. I usually try and plant them in the garden, so I thought I'd get a synthetic this year.
She loves a bargain. She's a northern lass after my own heart.
Well, we're northerners, you know that, don't you, Darren?
Andrea, how are you? It's Emily. How are you spending the New Year's? You're all dressed up, you're looking lovely. Are you having a quiet one, or what are you doing?
No, I've got my little Clifford to bed. He wanted to stay up. He wanted to come and gate crash and say hello to you all, because he doesn't watch the channel. But no, I've got my very good friend, Claire Bullivant, which I know some of you know from the post. She's here for a girly night. Are you shouting hello, Claire? Hello. And we're watching the new year in and GB News together, actually, and raising a glass. And you know, I don't normally drink, and I get drunk on 1.5 glasses. So this is, I'm nearly through 1 glass at the moment.
Brilliant.
So,
we'll get you on after midnight. Can. Fantastic. Andrea, I'm interested in what you were saying then about how many Conservative MPs might join Reform. There will be a tipping point, of course, that if too many Conservative politicians, let's say, want to join the Reform Party, that could put a lot of people off Reform because they will say, oh, well, it's another uni party. Can you see a time when Nigel Farage is turning people away and saying, no, actually, we don't want you?
Yeah, good point.
I mean, I think we'd be turning the One Nation Lib Dems away anyway, don't you? So I think, you know, we just want solid, true Conservatives and actually common sense Labour voters. I mean, remember how Thatcher brought those, if you think to traditional Labour voters, they voted for Thatcher, didn't they? So people want that common sense politics. People are not afraid to say as it is, very much like you do on GB News, actually.
You mentioned, Andrea, the what happened in Canada, which was the Canadian Conservative Party was eaten up by a party called Reform, funnily enough. Well, actually, I think we underestimate just how big a threat Labour face by Reform.
Yes. Absolutely. No, I agree with you. And as I said, I mean, if you look at across Lincolnshire, you know, Grimsby, have got lots of... they've got a Labour MP again there. We had a one-term Conservative MP there. And even I've been to Grimsby lots of times now. I mean, I went to school at Cleethorpes, etc. So, and the amount of people there, we seem to have a lot of support from Labour, ex-Labour voters there. So you're right, Darren. And that's what I found so remarkable, you know, to be in a party where we're pulling from both sides of the political spectrum, which is amazing. So you're on the money there, Darren. That's what's happening on the ground. And why don't you come up? Why don't you come up and see it on the doorstep? You'll see what it's really like. Yeah.
No, absolutely, I'd love to. Patrick's asking you what your New Year's resolution is, Andrea.
To be more mischievous, I think, yes.
Oh. Well, I dread to think what you'll do next, Andrea.
Running through fields of wheat,
You've got to live life, dream big and dare to fail, my dad used to say to me. Yeah.
Andrea, just a quick one for me. Barring Reform, don't mention Reform, but can you give one prediction for 2025? Nothing to do with Reform, you're excluded.
No, I mean, I do think that Emily's right. I think that Starmer will be dethroned at some point, and it wouldn't surprise me if Rayner doesn't, stab him in the back, and because she's clearly, having this professional photographer following her around, she's got her eye on the main prize, doesn't she? So I think Emily's right there. I don't know much about football, so I can't say about Patrick's one, but I think that I think we're really going to start seeing a change when Trump is it's the inauguration. I know you'll be covering that a lot as well, but I think we'll start seeing a change in Britain. The changes he makes there, I think that, the British public here, we're going to be calling out for it here. So I think they're going to be demanding change from the government and from parties of all colours. So that's what I think. I think we'll see a bit more rebellion, to be honest with you.
Okay, Andrea. We wish you a happy new year. Thank you so much for your contributions to GB News this year, and no doubt we will see a huge amount of you in 2025. Cheers.
Cheers to Andrea.
Right, let's go now to a house party. Labour advisor Matthew Torbett, friend of the channel. Matthew, good evening. Where are you?
You all right?
Bet it's Islington.
How you doing? You all right?
There he is. Right, Matthew, where are you? What's going on?
We're in Kidsgrove, and I'm here with some intoxicated females who can't behave themselves, to be honest. You've got to keep an eye on them tonight. They've just about calmed down to watch us bring the new year in on Britain's fastest growing news channel.
Brilliant. Now, Matthew, you are one of our lefties. We love you. You are a former Labour advisor. I was going to say, even though we still love you. And you're a regular on Britain's newsroom. But I know that, you also have to find reasons to be optimistic in 2025. What, Matthew, can we look forward to? Give us reasons to be cheerful.
Bloody hell. You put me on the spot a little bit there, haven't you? I mean, you could look at it and go, it can't get any worse, can it? I suppose that's optimism for you.
Well, just to clarify, you're a former Labour advisor, Matthew.
No, I am. I tell you what, GB News viewers might be happy. I think maybe not next year, but the year after. I can't foresee how they don't get rid of Keir if we lose Wales and Scotland. I think if people aren't happy with Kemi, I think she'll likely go after a poor local. So the political climate's very unstable at the moment, and that might please certain viewers who want to see Nigel and others do well, and potentially a shake-up of politics in the next 12 months and beyond, really. So that might be a cause for optimism for lots of people.
We've got less than 4 minutes until midnight, Matthew. So just very, very quickly then, if Sir Keir Starmer does go in 2025, who is going to be the person who, as Emily said, stabs him in the back? Metaphorically speaking.
I think you're going to be looking at Rachel Reeves is in charge really in the Treasury. She's going to be the one pulling all sorts. Everyone knows Wes Streeting's obviously got great ambition, but is it Macbeth? He who wields the knife very rarely wears the crown. So it'll have to be somebody's ally. What you might notice is some backbenchers going out and acting as a bit of a stalking horse to allow one of the cabinet members in. But you're looking at Bridget Phillipson if Rachel doesn't run, because they're quite close. Wes Streeting will be another. I don't think Angela Rayner wants it, but she might be the token sort of soft left type. Lisa Nandy potentially, but not a lot to get people excited, I would say, personally.
And we've got 3 minutes till midnight. Anybody got any questions for Matthew? Emily?
Well, Matthew, so what are you looking forward to this year in terms of your personal life? We like to get personal on New Year's Eve. Have you got anything coming up, some milestones for us?
Who are you kissing at midnight?
Yeah, who are you kissing at midnight? Great question.
I'm sure you'd all like to know who I'm kissing at midnight. No, I'll be kissing my partner at midnight, and, next year will be... hopefully one of big announcements. We'll have to wait and see.
Big announcement in the background.
Something's happening.
Come on, where's your girlfriend, Matthew? Bring her up to the screen.
She's gone camera shy, I think. Gone camera shy.
Is this, Matthew, is this the girlfriend you were telling me about on telly the other day? When were you here the other day?
I was telling you about, yeah. But we'll allow her to have her own private life.
I'm so glad. I probably should have asked that question in private in case it wasn't the same one. But I think this is a girl who was on Love Island, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, we don't need to be talking about that anyway. We're all right.
Yes, well, suddenly she's gone all shy. Listen, Matthew Torbett gets to kiss a girl who was on Love Island at midnight. It's not a lot of men can say that, and believe me, that makes a lot of people on this panel
lucky girl
jealous. Actually, no, you're all taking
here.
But Well, listen, Matthew, what would you normally do on New Year's Eve?
Kiss a girl off Love Island.
Well, exactly, yeah. What more do you want, Ben? You know, you've got it all in a sorted there. No, I don't know, I used to spend a lot of it with Mum and Dad. We'd try and bring in the New Year together as a family. I don't know, you sort of look forward to the future and hope for better things, really. Normally, you know, take it in with people like yourself. So, no, it's nice being around good people, good friends. Cheers to 2025 and good year all round.
Matthew. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Well done.
See you, Happy New Year, Matthew. See you very soon in the Britain's Newsroom studio. Right, we're looking at Big Ben here. We're counting down now. How long have we got? Just about a minute and a half, something like that.
Minute 13, 12,
minute and 10.
Well, can I just say, I hope everybody who's watching and listening to this, 2025 should be your year.
Yes.
I hope you.
No, it's my year.
Look, it's there for the taking. So good luck, everybody.
And let's see how woke this is, Patrick. Let's see how woke it is.
So we're waiting for Sadiq Khan's firework display. Obviously, Sir Sadiq Khan.
Could you imagine? Who would have thought 2 or 3 years ago, Sir Sadiq and possibly Prime Minister Angela Rayner, perhaps?
Well, it debases the whole honor system.
Everyone was
really
fawning over Wes, weren't they?
I quite like Wes.
Right, we've got 40 seconds. It's been a heck of a year for Great Britain in 2024. It's been a brilliant year for GB News as well. There is so much to look forward to in 2025. More and more of you are finding us every single day, and we love having your company. I think what you like about us is that we are honest with you, we are frank, we never dress it up. What you see is what you get. Now, fellas, ladies, are we ready? We're going to count the nation up to midnight.
Right.
We've got about 20 seconds to go. I hope you've all got the words to all
right, come on, let's count down from 10, shall we? Right.
Here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody.
Fantastic stuff.
There goes
they've just given each other a smooch.
I got a kiss.
There you go. Here we go.
Got a kiss.
Fireworks spectacular.
If you're listening on the radio, this fireworks display won't be quite as impressive. And I don't know enough about fireworks.
Just got to imagine it.
There's a red one, there's a blue one, there's a yellow one. Look, this is Sadiq Khan's London here. They've got the fireworks. There's also going to be a drone display that we're waiting to see, because obviously drones can spell out certain words, or they can spell out an image. So that's probably where the politics is going to come into this.
Are we going to see diversity?
Our NHS. I think this is Adam Cherry's view from Primrose Hill. This is where GB News is up on Primrose Hill. We will be speaking to Adam in just a little while to find out what the atmosphere was like there.
It can get quite rowdy on Primrose Hill.
Looks very, very impressive. What was the controversy about the woke fireworks some years ago? It was the NHS stuff, was it?
And he had a BLM fist.
Oh, I think you had it, and it was about George Floyd and things, wasn't it?
This looks great so far. If you're watching on TV, Love Heart fireworks, great colours, lots of them, good volume.
And we're looking at the London Eye, so this is obviously this is all down on the south bank.
This is genuinely great, actually.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
It always is, to be fair.
Hold your breath, Patrick. Hold your breath.
This is Sadiq.
Beautiful.
I'll tell you, people in Sydney, like, have that Sydney. You know, they always do it well, don't they, Sydney Opera House?
Yeah.
The London Eye there, lighting up, splashing of colour. It looks really good.
It does look
as far as I remember, it looks... wow.
To be honest, being down there, though, would be my idea of hell.
Yeah.
I cannot think of anything worse than being crushed on the south.
And a Happy New Year to you, Ben.
But that's why I'd rather be here. Fireworks are much better.
Got a better view anyway.
They are.
Better view.
Especially
on the telly,
TV
sat
news.
at home, if you've got your slippers on and you've got your drink in your hand and you're watching us and you're listening to this, there's nothing
with our dulcet tones
you
talking
don't
over.
have to get on the tube to come home with a load of drunk revellers.
Am I sad for sitting here watching this thinking, how much is this costing?
Taxpayer. It's a very good
Journalist
point,
in me.
Ben.
I'm just curious.
Do you know what? Some company should sponsor it. It should be free.
Oh, no, let's not.
There we go. Well, it's a good way to bring in 2025, isn't it? I mean, lots going to happen this year, so, you know, it's fantastic.
It's lovely. You've got the London Eye there.
The London skyline, it is, you know, it's iconic.
It is. It's breathtaking. Sometimes when you're driving around London, especially if we didn't grow up here, did any of us grow up in London?
No. I did.
You did, Emily? Yeah. But I think if you haven't grown up in London, you drive, sometimes you'd be in a taxi or in a car and you go over a bridge and you just see the landscape, and it does take your breath away, doesn't it, to think what a beautiful city it is. And I think that's why it's so heartbreaking when you're actually on the ground and it's disgusting.
This is a fireworks display to be proud of, you know, because we all day on GB News we've been doing, like, you know, Bangkok, we've been doing Taiwan, we've been doing all these different places where they've, you know, had their New Year already. This is one to be proud of, genuinely, seriously.
It is. This is good.
This is right up there.
Just don't look too close at the graffiti. But this is exactly how London is at its best. We are brilliant on the world stage. It makes me quite nostalgic. Do you know what I'm nostalgic for? The 2012 Olympics.
Yes.
We did that brilliantly, didn't we?
Yeah.
Interesting opening ceremony.
Well, now looking back to the passage of time, we can see the symbolism right there, can't we? But yeah, these, if you're just joining us, you've just come in from the pub. It'll be a weird time to come in from the pub at 3 minutes past midnight, admittedly. But we are watching the London skyline. Sadiq Khan's London, Sir Sadiq Khan, as of today.
It is officially 2025.
What, so do you think Sir Sadiq's turned a new leaf and we're not going to see anything woke?
Oh, a bit too much green
Fireworks
there.
can't be woke, you have to wait for the drones.
It's the drones. It's the drones.
It's the voiceover with the drones.
OK, so we wait for that then.
We wait for that.
Bated breath.
But it is a beautiful display, that, actually. It is a beautiful display.
I think looking ahead to next year, there are signs that it could indeed be very challenging, right? But I think it's very important people stick together, they remain optimistic, they remain positive. I think perspective on things can make a massive difference.
Yeah, and I don't like hearing all these people saying they're going to move country and, you know, and they're going to move halfway across the world. No, stick it out here. Make this country better.
Yeah. Make Britain great again.
No, go off to Dubai or Australia, you know. Look at this fireworks display. It's enough to keep you here.
It's genuinely one of the best ones I've seen, actually.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
I mean, all of it, if we hadn't already knighted him, I'd be thinking maybe we should knight Sadiq.
No, that's not enough.
No?
No.
No.
That's not a good enough reason, Patrick.
The music? Is it a particular
It's
song?
Auld Lang Syne, isn't it? It's like a sort of medley Muzak version of Auld Lang Syne, I think. Oh, this is our music.
Ah, right. Sorry, awkward. It's beautifully composed.
It's nominated for a Grammy, I'm hearing.
So I've done some Googling whilst these fireworks have been going off.
Oh yes, what have you found out for us?
So previous displays have cost around £2 million. Tickets for this event in London are costing between £20 to £50 per person.
Oh, do you make it back?
And that's, Emily, good point. That's going towards the cost of fireworks. So taxpayers, I guess, aren't coughing up for it. And this one is costing, it says around £2.5 million.
Okay,
So
but we're going to make it back in the tickets if enough people go.
I hope there's no one stuck in that London eye.
The problem is, what do you do once you've... Has anyone been down to a fireworks display like this?
Pay a fortune to be in that London Eye tonight.
Yeah.
It must be.
Has anyone been to a display like this?
I've been to these ones when I was 18.
And what did you do afterwards? So it's finished, then what did you do?
It was freezing cold. We waddled back to our hotel like penguins and
told you,
wrapped up
miserable.
warm. Yeah.
Oh, you're staying in a hotel, see, that's okay.
But I was
imagine if you're wanting to find a pub or a nightclub or something, it's probably...
But you know, the reason I mentioned that lockdown display that Sadiq Khan put on is because this was what we were crying out for in that year of lockdown, right? After what they had done to us. And we were crying out for the Mayor of London to put on a display as fabulous as this is. And he didn't. He made it as divisive as possible. So I hope and pray that actually we don't end up with the same thing tonight come the drones.
What would your predictions? There's no way his drones are not going to suggest something about the eco agenda. There's going to be something about climate change. Refugees.
Could you imagine?
No, he won't be that controversial.
Could you imagine?
He won't do. What did he do? Why does that ring a bell? What did he do when he Well,
I think you're right.
He did the big fist, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did the
Black Lives Matter fist.
Yeah.
And
and there was Captain
This is
Tom.
great. I'm enjoying this.
Good. It's going on a long time,
I'll be honest
isn't
with you,
it?
going on a bit. But it's good, though.
No, it is.
Can anyone, you know, I bet Ed Miliband's fuming. He's looking at this going, now, what are we doing?
Well, that's true, the carbon emissions.
So he's going to be in So Keir Starmer tomorrow can have another 2 billion, please.
Yeah. Suddenly, those cows not farting. It's all gone out the window.
Absolutely.
Let's just wait and see what is depicted with the drones.
Is it just me, or is this going on a lot longer than normal?
No, I think this is pretty... Is this not normal? And then...
Oh, so in one of the displays they had messaging London, a place for everyone, which some people thought was controversial.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's something about the Windrush.
Classic.
I think, Bev, you're right. If anything, it's going to be some green thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think green this year?
I wonder if at some point Shamima Begum emerges and then you think, oh God, she's really done it this time, hasn't it, you know?
And it was the presented by the Mayor of London that got people really going.
That was it.
Presented by the Mayor of London.
As if he'd been there with his light, lighting every single firework, coming up with the pyrotechnic display.
Well, you can tell they've definitely upped the budget on this on the previous year.
Yeah.
2 million, 2.5 million this year.
Which is no surprise given how many speeding fines that most people have had in London and LTN
Or maybe that's where the UNES money's
year.
going.
I've paid for half of this fireworks display, let me tell you.
Enough about your GB News salary, Bev.
Well, given that we're living in a cost of living crisis,
yes,
this looks like, and everyone's council tax is going up, it looks like they've got rather a lot of money. Look, let's be honest, there'll be a lot of tourists there tonight. This is going to be predominantly a tourist attraction this evening. I'd love to know how many Brits are actually down there this evening. I wouldn't have thought there would be that many.
Lots of messages on gbnews.com/you'll say David, John, Lucia, Mark, all wishing Happy New Year, Jackie, Luke.
Alan's hoping the fireworks are ULEZ compliant.
Honestly, this is one of the best displays I've seen. Seriously, I think it's really good. Well done, well done. And hopefully it sets the tone for the year. You know, we've had a bit of misery, we've had, you know, ups and downs, all of this stuff. So, you know, hopefully we're off to a cracker, aren't we?
Yeah,
a corker.
Scottish people will be looking down on GB News going, what? Why have they been allowed to have this? And ours has been cancelled because of mildly cold weather.
It is a bit of a misery, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a misery.
I would have thought it should be an absolute last resort to cancel New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Absolute last resort.
Last resort.
Yeah, but we got used to cancelling things, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We got used to saying, nah.
Yeah, we can't be bothered.
Scrap that.
In the name of health and safety.
In the name of...
keeping you
health
safe.
and safety gone mad. But we are still a great country.
I love these gold
I think
ones
that's
that
important
fizzle.
to remember. We are still good, and there is lots worth fighting for in this country.
People are getting their money's worth. If you spent 20 quid on a ticket...
What do you make, Darren, of people who... There has been talk, especially online, of people saying they're going abroad and they're giving up. You're strongly against that, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I am. If our ancestors had thought that, we'd all be speaking German right now. Oh, well, actually, you go back a bit. We'll all be, I don't know, some form of Viking.
Yeah, it's interesting. There seems to be, I mean, there's always these polls out in the Times and the Telegraph saying, you know, there's the biggest exodus of millionaires since so-and-so.
But that is true. That is true. And we are replacing people with, you know, basically people
Rich
that aren't
people
paying into the tax take. So
who's going to pay all the tax, eh?
Well, you, Emily.
Thanks.
Do you know what I think, though? Even though some may argue under this Labour government things are bad and they potentially will get worse, sometimes you need to really sort of get into the gutter before things get better, before people realise, actually, no, this is the path we need to take. They need to kind of see the light, I guess.
Yeah. And, you know, if things turn a corner, you know, millionaires are fickle. They'll come running back.
Come on.
Well, they love a tax break, don't they? So it's quite easily done, actually. So just turn us into Cayman Islands.
So is that the end of the fireworks?
Seems like it.
Well done. That was lovely. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
Oh.
Well, I think we're gonna do the traditional thing. Oh my, there we go.
You have to stand up, hang on.
There we go.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
I got the wrong hands. What am I doing?
Be forgotten, never more to one. Should hold acquaintance be forgotten in the days of old lang syne. For old lang syne.
I can just
Drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of old lang syne.
Happy New Year. I don't know. I had an invisible friend.
I started a bit high there. Sorry, guys.
Well, you know, it all went downhill after
You're meant to be the singer amongst us.
Well, you know, not under pressure, clearly.
My word, I nearly lost my right boob out of my dress then, Ben.
Oh, great.
Same.
That's all right, it's past midnight.
OK, well, thank you for... hopefully you joined in at home there.
Yeah,
sorry about that. I've had some weird moments in this TV studio.
Thank goodness for Adam Sherry.
But
right, OK,
we were
so I
told to
think...
do
Is he
Are we
in
going to
Primrose Hill?
Adam? Are we going to my mum?
Oh, fantastic.
Who are we
Hopefully
going
he's
to?
there soon anyway, we'll see.
Right, we're going to go very shortly, I think, either to my mother or Adam Cherry.
Who's it going to be?
Not a sentence I ever thought I was going to say. You all right there, Ben?
It's a bit hot.
You're getting a bit warm there, love.
Darren's got very sweaty palms as well.
Oh, minging.
Well, it was very strange, that moment. But listen, it's the tradition, isn't it? It's New Year's Eve. What we talk about a lot on this channel is conserving, right? Conserving.
Yes, absolutely.
British traditions. We did our best.
What are you boys laughing about?
Well, we've got to conserve whatever this is, haven't we?
British tradition.
I mean, we couldn't possibly do without this, you know.
Ben is
fantastic. Yeah. OK, come on, right, New Year's resolutions, everybody. Mine is to lose a stone in this month, so I'm nearly mine colours.
Somebody just said in my ear, should we get Mr Motivator?
Just when you think you can't get any weirder.
But speaking of losing a stone...
We're going to talk to Mr Motivator because, of course, New Year, often for a lot of people, it's time of, as you just said, Patrick. You want to lose a bit of weight. You don't need to lose any weight. You're married now, it don't matter.
It does matter.
There we go.
So shall we go and talk to Mr Motivator, one of our GB News favourites? No, he's not quite here yet.
Yeah,
oh, he is.
Here he is.
Here he is. There he is. Amazing, wonderful.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, and to you as well. You know, it's strange, isn't it? I believe that every one of us, our New Year shouldn't just happen on the 1st of every year. It should happen when you feel you want to make a change in your life. And that way you're more likely to keep it going. Because, you know, by the end of January, 80% of New Year's resolutions would have been thrown out the window. And I think it's because we don't mentally mean it. We don't mean that we want to make a change. And I'm not talking about us losing weight or being a size 8. It's about you being happy in your skin. And to get happy in your skin, it means looking in the mirror and loving what you see and look at yourself and go, you know what, I'm all right, I'm okay.
You are so amazing. Look at you there at midnight in your gym. You look like you sat on your weights bench, are you? In your gym kit. Now, forgive me, but you're how old are you, Mr Motivator? Is that
102?
Don't be cagey. I'm 72.
72. Amazing.
But you see, the message I'm trying to give to everybody, if you love yourself, you look after yourself. You don't neglect yourself. And that means that little bit that you do every day really adds up in our fitness bank. And I get asked all the while, why does your skin look so good? Why do you seem to be always fit? And have you turned back the clocks of time? It's not that. It's because I recognize that as I get older, it's so important that I maintain my independence. And that only comes from movement. That only comes from you going, you know what, let me move my body a bit more. And that way you don't neglect all the muscles that keep you upright, that keep you smiling, that keep you feeling good.
Mr Motivator, Mr Motivator, it's over here. Can you give us a... Sorry, Ben's laughing a lot. Mr Motivator, can you show us some moves that what we should do tomorrow morning when we wake up? You know, we're going to wake up, some will have a little hangover. What's a light little exercise to get the body moving?
You know something, it's so funny, with you guys being so merry, there's probably only one thing you got to do tomorrow, which is...
Not that bad. Can you sing on the radio? He just mimed vomiting there.
No. Listen, it's important that we recognise that everything we do to survive during the day is movement. When you roll out of bed, that is your first movement that you do at the beginning of the day. And when you go to the bathroom and you squat down, that is the next movement you do, not only in terms of working the muscles in your legs, which are important for your independence, but also because what it does, if you use those major muscles like this, nothing more than that will get you fitter every day. If you did that every hour, you'd be amazingly how fitter you'd become.
Mr Motivator, Darren would like some tips on his squat. I think he's going to show you a squat if you could just judge his form. Is that OK?
He's going to get on the desk and do a squat.
I am certainly not.
Come on.
On the desk.
Hey, listen, I do my squats.
This is an expensive desk.
I do my squats every day when I'm cleaning my teeth. I do my squats twice a day.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh, go on then.
Well,
Show us how you do it.
No, don't. That dress.
That's what I do every day. Twice a day.
The squat is one of those underestimated exercises, but it's one of the main exercises we should do. And the proper way you do it is important. And that's why I say to most people, if you do it onto a chair, you will do it properly. If you do it without a chair, you won't do it right. But you can see already I'm using all the muscles in my legs, and I can see the laughter there. That way, that means you guys are really married today. You're taking this very seriously, aren't you?
Yeah, so, so what's going to happen now is that you're going to get in front of the desk and you're going to do a squat.
Can I take my champagne?
Squat challenge.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, fantastic.
It's
Good
the squat
stuff.
challenge.
Here we go.
Good.
Right, OK. This, again, another weird moment in my GB News career. Do I stand up here or do I go down there?
Yep, that looks good.
OK, right.
Go ahead.
I feel a little bit objectified here, I can't lie.
To be honest with you, I think I'm going to wake up in a minute.
No, we're only focusing on your athletic form.
So when I'm cleaning my teeth, Mr. Motivator, I will clean my teeth and I will do a squat like that as I'm cleaning my teeth.
Oh.
There you go.
Anyone just tuning in.
And for just £20 a month, you can sign up to be a GB News Gold member. And so there you go. Fantastic. Yeah, good stuff. Well, welcome, Mr. Motivator. That was nice, passionate way to start the 2025, wasn't it? Yeah, good stuff. Oh, he's still there. Good. Yeah, fantastic.
I was going to say, the one thing you could do to improve your form.
Oh, yeah.
Is your knees going forwards, and you've got to be careful when your knees go forward because all the weight is on your knees.
Oh.
If you put your butt backwards when you're doing it, notice my knees are hardly moving.
Oh, here she goes.
No, I think you're right, actually, because it should be more like that.
You got it. You got it. That's it. Perfect form.
Excellent.
Oh, dear.
You see, my knees...
Squat, didn't it?
My knees have been taking a battering, clearly, in a way that they didn't need to.
And in heels.
And in heels. I don't normally do it in heels when I'm in the shower, I can't lie.
You don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, you're doing what's absolutely right for you. And in years to come, they're going to regret the fact that they didn't look at you and go, that is great form, I must do the same.
Well.
We've all got regrets.
Listen, Happy New Year. You are an amazing inspiration. You've been motivating the country for decades now. We love you. Thank you so much.
You're naughty.
We're just raising our glasses to you.
Cheers,
Happy
Mr. Motivator.
Happy 2025.
Happy New Year.
2025. Happy New Year. There we go. Well, just when you think it can't get any weirder.
There we go.
I wonder what's going on in Edinburgh. Does anyone wonder what's going on in Edinburgh? Should we go to Edinburgh?
Well, why not? Yeah.
I wonder if we... we should go to Tony Maguire. Here he is. Good stuff, Tony. How's Edinburgh, mate?
Hello, good evening. Happy New Year to you all. Certainly such a weird 20 minutes we've had here. Obviously, so much has been cancelled over the last 24 hours, and yet everybody gathered here. Something somewhere got spread, and then people gathered here just down below the castle in their hundreds. And then somebody, I don't know who, I don't think it was linked to the castle, but let's just call them the patron saint of 2025. They started setting off fireworks from right the other end of Princes Street, and everybody here, I think, was just so happy that, even though it wasn't the planned Hogmanay that they had in mind, that their trip down here to the castle, for many people, the trip around the world to Edinburgh, ended in, quite a dismal display of fireworks based on what else is happening around the UK. But yet it was just this uncanny moment of people realising that they got a teeny little slither of what they had come to Edinburgh for. Now everybody here already wishing happy New Year, happy Hogmanay. That guy I think is 24 hours in the past, but we'll let him enjoy his night as he were. We're doing okay here in Edinburgh. And we've got, I've got my Hogmanay and my New Year's Eve survival party here, which is just one bottle for one, and maybe Mrs. Maguire, who you may or may not have got a little glimpse of earlier on. But no, we're all good here in Edinburgh. Happy New Year to everybody watching at home from around the UK, and hopefully it is a good one for all of us.
So, Tony, the weather's not spoiled it for you all then? You're all survived. It's a miraculous, isn't it?
It's incredible, isn't it? It's so strange that the weather in Scotland can be so temperamental.
Oh, well, good luck, Tony.
No, it's been a temperamental kind of day, but thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Happy New Year.
We're just hoping those blue lights won't
New
for
Year.
you. I'm sure that... Is it the free speech police are in town?
I must say, Beverly, you're... or Bev, you prefer Bev,
I don't mind.
Don't know why I'm calling you Beverly.
It's okay.
It's a beautiful name. Lots of your fans are getting in touch. They particularly enjoyed the squat challenge.
The squat will not be a regular feature.
Become an annual event. An annual event.
Why did you bottle it?
Why did I... I wasn't told to go in front of the thing.
You were told to get on the stage.
I was told to get on the table. There's a world... It would collapse if I got on the table.
It would not.
Listen, Bev, a lot of the comments here are saying, what's your OnlyFans link after that performance?
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're lovely comments.
Shall we just for a minute, though, talking of OnlyFans, one of the big things for me in 2024 has been... the Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips phenomenon, which is young women, relatively attractive, apparently intelligent women, lining up to share some intimate moments with multiple men at one time.
It's the men that shock me more.
Is it?
Seeing
100%.
all those men line up, some of them, I mean,
Weird.
and the Pellicot case in France, I know slightly different, but still, you got professional. And for me, seeing clips of those men all lining up outside Bonnie Blue's
But the women, but what does it say? That these women, both middle-class, university-educated girls who see that life is better than the alternative.
Genuinely, I mean, you know, it's not a very light-hearted topic for this point in the evening, is it? But genuinely, that was the first time in 2024 that it was... For me, it was like, it's the end of days. Like, it's the end of humanity. When women are broadcasting themselves sleeping with multiple men as a world record attempt.
It's the worship of money, which is very, very dangerous. It's, you know, Bonnie Blue went on Nana's show and said, I'm earning 600 grand a day.
But isn't it crazy? We've got, like, extreme...
a month.
We've got extreme, you know, religious conservatism in this country, and then, on the other hand, you've got, like, the excesses of, I guess, Western culture. I don't know.
On the other hand, you got 600 grand a month, to be fair. I mean, flipping out.
Not worth it, Patrick. Not worth it at all. Right, let's go to our reporter, Adam Cherry, who I think is at Alexandra Palace for us now in London. Adam, are you there? He's on Primrose Hill.
I'm at Primrose Hill still, guys. Happy New Year, by the way. It's very loud here. I hope you can hear me all right. Someone's got an amp just off to my right playing some music. Fireworks still going off. There's lots of people. Oh, there you go. There you go. There it is. There it is. Apparently she just turned 22, so look, fantastic. We're having a great time here. As I say, fireworks still going off. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to have blocked off the fireworks here, but look. To be honest, people cheered the most when they all let off over here. So it's been quite a fun night. Like I said earlier, I think we had the best view here. It's fantastic here on Primrose Hill. There's more people joining us behind. It's been a great night, guys. I hope you've had a great night too. It's been fantastic.
Well,
Adam, can I just ask you, what kind of... oh, we lost it. Adam, what kind of crowd is it there, apart from, obviously, a noisy one? But are there families? Are there younger families there? People there with teenagers and kids?
This is brilliant. Don't you dare move off this, cameraman. Keep this going.
Yeah, there's a lot of families here. It's been a good... It's been a good atmosphere, actually. I haven't really seen any trouble. We did see one chap get escorted away by the police. But apart from that, and like I said, the odd rebellious firework, it's not been too bad. It's been a good night. I think everyone here has had a good time.
And do people look like they're hanging around for a bit longer, or is the crowd starting to make its way home now?
I've got a bit of a crowd here, actually, so I don't seem to be moving anywhere. The place does shut at 1 o'clock, but at the moment, it's still pretty busy. Yeah, I mean, I can see there's a load of people dancing off to my right at the moment.
Brilliant. Brilliant, honestly. I tell you what, Brits do outdoor celebration very well, don't we?
I hope he's not dragged back to any kitchens at 7 in the morning, some after parties.
Yeah, I hope not.
What time is it with you, Emily?
And bushy-tailed. At 9:30, 10, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Get the coffees ready.
It's nice to, you know, have everyone out and about, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
A few years ago, goodness gracious me, you know, we're all locked
Yeah, but the way we
inside.
gather outside in freezing temperatures, you know, it's nice. Not everyone does that.
We're alive. We need to get out there, shake our booties, do a Beverly on camera.
I never, obviously, since lockdowns, I now never take for granted a big occasion with a lot of people in one room, don't you? Like,
what's the plan tonight, then, after this? We're off air at 1.
Darren Grimes is the man who will know.
Well-
Darren is the man who has a decent social life around this table.
Well,
no offence, Fred.
Charlie Rowley will be somewhere. We'll find him. We'll find him. He's on the terrace in the House of Commons, but we're not going to go to him. Apparently, we're going to go to my mum, who it says mum in the auto cue. I say no such thing. That is heresy. Heresy. Ma'am, hello. Oh, there's my nana.
Hey.
Hello. Happy New Year. I was just telling everyone that you're 90, Nana. What's your secret?
Yeah.
How do you keep looking so young and fit?
Keep on the move.
Keep on the move.
Always keep on the move. That's what keeps you young.
Right.
She's been listening to Mr. Motivator.
And my mum's got a glass of champagne, so she's not probably...
It was lovely to see Mr. Motivator again.
Yes.
But I was disappointed you didn't do the squat down.
Me too.
I know. Listen, I know.
Me too,
I'm
Mrs.
getting it.
Grimes.
Exactly.
Come on, Darren, let's go.
Right, OK.
For your mum and Nan.
Oh, amazing.
Fantastic.
In the middle.
Here we go.
In the middle.
For your mum and Nan.
There we go. Nice and deep. Nice and deep.
Bum back.
Oh.
Is that all right? Oh, are we ready?
Very nice.
Oh.
There you are.
Very early on the exercise.
There you are.
At least
Yes.
till tomorrow morning.
Who did it better, eh?
Well,
I'll just speak for
you can, when I brush my teeth, I brush my teeth.
No point messing about, is there? We've lost your mum, and you know also which one was which, Darren. You could help.
Ah, well.
Mummy looks like
she'll
your
love you for saying that. Yeah. So that's my Nana's house there, and it's in Stanley, Patrick, where you've been for GB News.
Salt of the earth, people,
Yeah,
and
ask your
fantastic.
mum.
Great to meet
We
you
are.
both.
Bev's going to
I
ask
want
you a
to
question.
ask Darren's mum and Nana a question. When did he get the gift of the gab, or did he always have it?
I can't quite see
Did
it.
Darren always have the gift of the gab?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Bev.
Oh, and who does he get it from?
It's off his mother. Off his mom.
Off his mum.
That's my uncle.
In the background, there's always a heckler.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we've...
His Uncle Tony's shouting in the back, and my sister. Yes.
He's a big fan of the channel. He watches GB News.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, our Tony's very political, yes.
Yeah.
But I do think, I think Patrick and Emily need to have a baby, don't you, in 2025?
It's what the nation needs.
Yes.
Exactly.
No pressure.
As long as it takes after Emily, we'll be all right. Otherwise, we're all in trouble, aren't we?
Another ginger baby.
Mum and Nana, what is the naughtiest thing your boy did as a child, if you can remember, and divulge to the nation?
I was actually quite a
No, you
good
don't answer.
child.
It's not for you, Darren.
Darren, don't tell fibs. Oh, can you remember carrying the lollies over when you were a child? And we used to call you Mr. Bump. And you fell over a little pothole in the earth and you dropped the lollies all over.
It was a bonfire because Nana used to host and help set up the bonfire at the end of the street, and we took a load of lollies over, and apparently I went. I nearly said A over T, bum over teeth, and ended up with the neighbourhood's lollies.
Oh, no.
All over the
Ruined it
floor.
all.
I did.
What was
yeah.
it, treacle toffee, bonfire?
I don't know what the lollies were, but yeah, something to that
Sorry,
effect.
can I just revisit it? What do they used to call you?
Mr.
Bump.
Because he was so clumsy.
Right, sorry.
Oh, what did you think?
No, nothing. Brilliant stuff. Well, enjoy Stanley anyway, and well done on raising Darren because he's a national treasure, isn't he? So well done.
Yeah,
fantastic.
well done.
I'm
Cheers
going
to
to
that.
be known as Mr. Bum now. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Love you, ma'am. Love you, ma'am. Happy New Year.
I'll have to go back to Stanley.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, brilliant.
They love GB News there. They love GB News there.
Isn't she brilliant? Your Nana, though.
Oh, I know. She's amazing.
Oh, is she, sorry? Amazing.
Yeah,
She's
she
90?
is. Yeah, no, she's 90, and she had a birthday this year, and she's at the heart of the family, you know.
Was your Nana, for example, Labour type? So your mining family?
My grandfather, her husband was a miner, was down there for years, and voted Labour all his life until 2017 when he voted Tory. That was.
I was going to say, so was your nan quite politically involved as well?
No, she's always loved the likes of Churchill, and even controversially, she quite liked some of what Thatcher stood for.
The area, yeah.
And now the whole family are all Reform. The whole family.
Well, it's a pretty typical
interesting place,
story,
Stanley, because in Stanley there's a road called Keir Hardie Way, there's Marx Terrace, there's Lenin Avenue. It's really dyed in the wool. It's fascinating to see how they've kind of switched, really.
You know, coal runs through its blood.
There's a lot of I'd never vote Labour again, or never vote Labour again. A lot of people who didn't vote didn't bother. A lot of Labour voters.
No, but I think that's changing. I think people are becoming more engaged in it because they're so desperate. Right?
I think the winter fuel payment shocked a lot of people.
Oh, it has, yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, well, if you go through the list of people that so far this Labour government have upset, pensioners, students,
farmers,
waspy women.
You, waspy women,
business.
Tax.
People who want to book a hotel anywhere near Dover. The list goes on, doesn't it, really?
It is really
Business,
a very
national insurance,
long list.
Everybody.
But I think voters like that...
They haven't upset train drivers.
No, well, good.
Well, they're still striking despite the pay increases, aren't they?
I think voters like that up there have just felt like they've been taken for granted. They gave the Tories a chance in some parts, and they look at what the Tories did since 2019 and they say, well, you didn't work for us either. So people are desperate. They just want hope, and I hope 2025 is the year where we can actually start to offer some glimmers of light.
One lady said Keir Starmer may as well build a Trump wall between the north and the south.
Well...
That was the attitude.
Have you seen train drivers were reportedly refusing to do £700 a shift overtime because they were getting such big pay rises over Christmas, and the backdated pay, they're now saying, no, we don't need the overtime, thanks. And all the trains, there are lots of delays over Christmas.
You know what my big policy would be? Number one policy, no tax on overtime. Can you imagine the boom to the economy?
That is a good idea. Also, automated trains. To be that's another way around.
Automated trains, there we go.
Build a better Britain on our bellies. That's what I keep coming back to tonight, from what the farmers said, from what Gareth said earlier. I love that, because actually, amazingly, we've got through a GB News show without talking about the health of the nation, really, in a way, because that underpins so much, doesn't it?
Well, Mr Motivator gave a little bit of it.
Mr Motivator, you're right, was a glimpse of that. But I think looking across to America with this Trump administration, because that is in 3 weeks' time now, it's 20th of January is the inauguration.
Big day, that.
Massive day, that. I'm going to be there, actually, in DC at the inauguration. Wow. And the appointment of Robert Kennedy in the health space there for Make America Healthy Again, if they can fix that, they can fix so much about what's wrong with America. If they can fix the obesity epidemic, do you think they can do it, Patrick?
Well, it's going to be tricky. I mean, to be fair, they've got the work cut out in America, haven't they? But, I think, if anyone can do it, I suppose it's RFK, isn't it? But, yeah, I was going to take a radical outlet. I mean, in America, everything's bigger, isn't it? I mean, I would literally... I'd be already dead if I was... I would.
But that's what they will try and do, isn't it? How do you start to undermine an industry which is built on people's ill health? The profit lies in people being unwell.
Well, first port of call is banning pharmaceutical adverts from television.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a...
Well, hang on. If it weren't for the pharmaceutical industry, we wouldn't have cures to major diseases that people were dying of only decades ago.
No,
so let's hold our horses before we start demonising the entire pharmaceutical industry.
No, I'm talking about advertising on telly.
Yeah, but it's weird in America. It's weird.
It's the only one of two countries in the world where they allow... Pfizer sponsor Fox News. I mean, how can you be expected to... And CNN and all of them. How can you be expected to have impartial news when you're sponsored by a pharmaceutical company?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you could say the same about other industries, couldn't you?
Got any gold to sell? Right. Let's go to St Albans. Now, where we're joined by GB News viewer Jackie Simpson. Jackie, hello.
Hi.
Happy New Year. Oh, I love it. You look so glamorous and brilliant.
Well,
I love your window.
It's St Albans, and I'm outside my local wine bar.
Oh.
Lovely.
It's closed for regulars, so we've had a lovely party.
Oh, wow.
So it's been really
Amazing.
nice.
I thought you bought your own wind machine there for a minute, Jackie, to make yourself look fabulous. So what's your evening been like? Have you had GB News on in the pub then?
No, I've come outside. My evening's been absolutely fabulous. I've celebrated all the things I'm grateful for this year, the blessings and obviously health and family and friends. But this year I had a milestone birthday, which I'm not telling you which one. My niece got married. I've been pursuing my acting and presenting ambitions, and after 4 years of being a widow, I have met the most wonderful man. So it's been a great year for me.
Oh, that's so lovely, Jackie. How nice is that? I
Really
love
lovely.
that. I love that. You look amazing. Happy 30th birthday, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jackie, thank you very much. Thank you very much, honestly, seriously, for being a GB News viewer and a listener. And this is what it's all about, right? People, you know, people like yourself, Jackie, who are just normal, ordinary people that, you know, keep the cogs of GB News turning. So thank you so much. And what are you hoping for in the coming year? What are you hoping for in the coming year?
What am I hoping for? More health, more wealth, more love and success.
Yes.
Wonderful stuff, Jackie. Wonderful stuff. Jackie, how long are you going to stay up tonight? You going to be up all night?
I don't know. Those days are long gone. After my 30th birthday, I don't know. I'll give it another go. I'll give it another hour.
The night is young.
And Jackie, you must really love GB News to join us on New Year's Eve and give up some time and come away from your friends to talk to us. What is it about our channel that you enjoy so much?
I just enjoy that you keep it real. I think it's balanced, and you listen. Your GB voices listen to the views of ordinary people. So long may it continue. And I love Nana.
Oh, fantastic. A lot of people have said that tonight. And do you tell all your friends that you watch GB News?
I do. And I tell them I get involved from time to time.
Well, clearly now you've got this for your show reel now, Jackie.
Yeah.
Right, listen, thank you so much. Happy New Year from all of us. All the best for 2025. How lovely. Jackie's there, GB News viewer. Well, moments ago, this clip came in from GB News viewer Susan and her family.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, release the sausages.
Nice,
Happy New Year, pensioners. Happy New Year, everybody.
So that was from Susan and her family. We're not sure which one was Susan.
Can I say, that reminds me, one of my highlights this year was that video of Starmer and the Christmas lights. One of the most uninspiring things I've ever seen, which kind of underlines the feeling of the nation at the moment.
And the lights came on and he said, oh, it worked.
So,
like, it was surprised.
It was like something out of The Office, wasn't it?
Broken Britain.
No, it really was.
Right, we're going to talk to Josh Howie now, GB News presenter, regular face to all of you. Hi, Josh. Oh. Josh and the boys. That's a late night for your little ones. How excited are they to be up at 20 to 1?
Therefore, I don't actually know these people. I've never met them before. I don't know who they are. I don't know you. Don't talk to me.
Who are you with, Josh? What's their names?
Well, over there's Artie, Betsy, Zero, and Woody is... Again, there he is. There. And one of them's out at his first ever house party.
So you've got 5 kids, Josh?
I've got 5 kids, yes.
Any tips? Tips and tricks for 5, a brood of 5?
Yeah, it's very good for helping with Alzheimer's, to just try and remember their name.
5 of them. Between what ages, Josh?
7 to 15.
Uh-oh, and the 15-year-old's not back from the house party yet, Josh.
No.
Not back from the house party.
He's out, his first house party. There he is.
Tut, tut, tut. He's making the most of it.
Oh, wow. We've been asking all of our guests tonight, Josh, just for reflections on 2024, first of all. Highlights for you?
I think the highlight for me was Patrick's and Emily's wedding. Yeah, they didn't invite me. They didn't invite me. But
savage.
Looking at the photos was my highlight of the year.
And looking forward to 2025, what are you going to be able to make good comedy value out of, Josh?
You know what? I'm just trying to digest 2024. It was so big, wasn't it? It just there are years that come along when nothing seems to happen, and this year it was just immense. So I think it's going to take me all of 2025 to just sort out what happened in 2024.
But also, I mean, Trump back in office, he really is the comedy gift, isn't he, that keeps on giving. There'll be so much material when he is back there talking to the nation every day.
Dancing, absolutely, and I just hope he brings out some sort of like fitness video, some sort of dance video. Yeah. So no, absolutely. It's going to be a great year for comedy, but also just, I think, a big change, big shift.
Josh, of course, you're the new host of Free Speech Nation. There's been lots of talk about free speech this year, not least, some might argue, people got banged up for posts on Facebook. Where do you see free speech in 2025 going? Is it going to get worse, do you think? Is it going to be more of an effort to protect it? Where do you think we're heading in the UK?
I think 2024 was a watershed year in that people really got to grips. I think a lot of our viewers got to grips with how important free speech is and how it's almost the sort of backbone of our society. So I think now we know what it's about, and now people are standing up and really appreciating, whichever side of the political aisle you're on, how fundamental it is to all of our freedom. Without that, we don't have all the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will all toast to that.
Absolutely.
We're all very much in agreement with that, Josh. And thank you so much. And what well-behaved children.
And your kiddos, yeah. Well done.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Right, you can go to bed now, kids. Don't forget to clean your teeth. Night-night.
Happy New Year.
Right, the BBC's coverage of tonight's Central London firework display. Well, obviously you weren't watching that because this is so much more interesting. But if you were, you'd have heard Sadiq Khan say this.
No matter what happens, London will always be a city of hope and a place for everyone.
Was that text also in the rainbow colours?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's interesting he says it's for everyone, isn't it? Because obviously we have had, every other Saturday in central London, some pretty hate-fuelled marches that dominate the place.
Is it for everyone? Do we want it to be for everyone?
Isn't that
or am I just nitpicking?
No, you're not. It's an international airport. London is an international airport in which absolutely everybody, but, it seems it's not our capital city anymore.
And isn't that therein the problem? London is for everyone.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, is that not why
there are some fantastic things about being an international city. Everything that goes on in London. It's an exciting place. It's a vibrant place, dare I say.
Yeah, but I don't think our ancestors wanted it to become an Albanian hotbed of crime.
But the crime is out of control. Did you see knife crime 50% up since he came in?
Yeah, it's insane.
I guess it's an interesting statement. You think of all the words he could have chosen. So what is he saying in that London is for everyone? What he's saying is, don't push back against the diversity, the DEI agenda. Like I will push back against against anybody that tries to dispute the DEI issue. That's what he's saying, isn't it? He's saying it in a very subtle way, rather than saying we are, our doors are open, welcome, welcome, welcome. He's just saying London is open for everyone.
I think the problem is if it wasn't Sadiq Khan, then that's just nice things to say. London is for everyone. Like Paris is for everyone, Berlin is for everyone, whatever. Tokyo is for everyone, whatever. But it's the fact that he gave £25,000 grants to councils to change the name of streets he didn't quite like because they had associations with colonialism. The fact that he wanted to take down statues if they weren't diverse enough for his liking. So it doesn't come in a vacuum, does it?
No.
I don't think he's saying it as you've alluded to. It could be anyone else, and it's just a nice message saying, London's open for everyone. I think he's saying it as in it's an open door policy. London, the world, come along. And I think that's a real insult to Londoners, especially real Londoners who have been born and bred here and have been forced out. London is for everyone. Says who? Not you. It's not your city.
Yeah. Right, we're joined now by pub landlord and very familiar face to GB News viewers, Adam Brooks, live from his pub in Essex. Hi, Adam. Oh, great.
Happy New Year to you all.
Oh, you too.
Happy New Year. Great to see you. Have you had a busy evening in the pub?
Really busy. It's been a really good vibe here. It's still going on.
Brilliant.
I've got about half hour left, so no, all good.
Excellent. And, we've talked a lot in 2024 about how hard life is for pub landlords, for the hospitality industry in general. Do you feel like you've finished the year on a bit more of a high?
No, I've had a really good couple of weeks, to be fair. It's really felt sort of well for me. Pub's been busy. Tonight I wasn't expecting to be this busy, so it's all good. The party's going on behind me, So, no, it's a good end to the year, but we've got a lot of worries with this budget coming. I just hope a lot of pubs survive,
Yeah, absolutely. What are you talking about specifically, Adam? In national insurance hikes, fuel prices not going down, those bills are still crippling, aren't they, for small businesses?
Yeah, the rate relief is, they're sort of cutting that back. The national insurance hike, the wages going up. You know, we as pubs have got to find that money from somewhere. So my pub alone, it's about £500 or £600 a week from April onwards. I've got to find extra. That's sort of 25, 30 grand a year. I don't know what the answers are to that. It's going to be higher prices and possibly, you know, shifts or jobs being lost, which is not what this government is meant to be about.
Sorry,
Go on,
Bev.
go on,
Good
Ben.
evening, Adam. It's Ben. How are you doing, mate? It's very easy to, you know, be pessimistic and put down the government and so on and so on. Give me something you're looking forward to in 2025, something that you're really fired up for and you're hopeful for and that's exciting you.
I don't know. I'm hopeful that it looks like this woke agenda is absolutely collapsing around us, you know, and with Trump getting in America, this narrative, this nonsense that gets spouted, this division, I think, you know, I hate this saying, people are waking up and people are coming together now and pushing back. Even Labour voters I know have had enough of Keir Starmer after 6 months, which is amazing, you know. So, look, we've got a long 3.5 years to go with these, but the pressure is going to, you know, mount on them. Reform UK are speaking for a lot of us, and I think they're going to grow even bigger in 2025.
Interesting.
Yeah, Anna, can I just say thank you very much for being such a big part of my show, you know, this year. You know, what people don't see behind the scenes, right, is that Adam turns up 2 hours before we go on air.
Yeah.
He's got meticulous notes. He does his bit. He's always there, grafting away.
Yeah.
You know, if every single person in this country was like Adam Brooks, then the world would be a much better place. Absolutely. So, you know, have a great year ahead, mate, and hope to see more of you.
No, and I just want to say it's an honour to be on GB News. You know, a few years ago, I would never have believed that someone like me could be on the telly, could be in the media.
Oh.
And I love it so much. And it's all down to people like yourself, Patrick, and all you presenters, and the people that tune in. And I believe our viewing figures are just going to explode this year. And GB News is going to be the #1 news channel in the UK.
Well done, mate.
I think we can say we already are, Adam Brooks, but thank you very much. We will certainly raise a toast to that. Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year.
I'm going to get back behind the bar.
Yeah. Never stops working.
Those
Never
pints
stops
aren't going
working.
to pull themselves.
I know. Let's get some final viewer messages as well this evening. Now, I think Teddy, the dog, dressed up for us. Here he is. Oh, he looks like you, Patrick.
He does.
Thank you very much.
Baby Patrick.
We've never been seen in the same room at the same time. So, yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. We've got some more coming in just a minute, I think. We're going to be seeing... Here we go. Is this Sarah? This is Sarah. Good evening, Sarah.
We've got a box of chocolates, it looks like.
Oh, I love
this
bit. Don't you like this bit of the year, though, when the chocolates are still lingering?
Yeah.
I've got stacks of them, boxes and boxes.
I bought some after 8 minutes. In fact, I bought them with me tonight. I'll get them out after the show. Thank you, Sarah, so much. And another one here. We have the Culver family. There they are. Good evening. Couple of kids up late. There you are. Brilliant. And also Ryan and his dog Ralphie.
Hey, Ryan. Hello, Ralphie.
Fantastic. I like to see how many dogs are watching GB News, actually. There's quite a lot of them out there. They love it.
My next-door neighbour, when she goes out to work in the day, and to keep the dogs company and less stress, she turns on GB News.
No.
So I walk past sometimes when I'm not working, and I catch breakfast or whoever. Or you.
Really? You say that really? You on the telly calms down her dog?
That is amazing. Andrew Pearce has that effect on her dog in the morning. Who knew? Well, I started Christmas with 2 little pets, and now we have 1.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. They're only guinea pigs.
Okay.
And frankly, I'd be happy if we ended it with neither.
That's how I felt.
My children don't feel the same way. I'm not particularly attached
what
to
happened
the guinea
to the one?
I don't know. It just died. And we took.
Well, on that cheery note.
Did you feed it?
Well...
you know they require water and food.
Yeah. No, to be honest, they are the responsibility of, one of my children right now. And it's a bit of a long story. But let's just say I'm on guinea pig watch, so let's just see what happens over the next few weeks. You'll have to tune into Britain's newsroom to see if Ivy survives. Fudge is gone. Fudge is under the tree now.
Darling Peter, as we speak. What's the Peter woman who comes on?
Peter?
A charity.
Animal charity. Oh, yeah. Well, I got in trouble this year, didn't I, when somebody tried to run that cow over. Do you remember the police officer tried to run over the cow in Isleworth?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And I...
That was a crazy... Oh, yes, I remember.
That was one of the highlights of 2024 was Cowgate.
You had a lot to say, didn't you?
That was mad.
Well...
What did you say? You said he just run it over?
Well, I thought it was an entirely reasonable thing to do just near the A316 for the police officer to take out the cow when it could have run across the dual carriageway.
But most Brits prefer animals to
Well, I found that out to my peril, Emily Carver. I'm still clearly getting myself into trouble by repeating the story at the end of the year as well. Look, the cow was fine. The cow has actually gone on to live quite a happy life. It's got a bit of a limp.
We've got one more snap.
Are we sure?
Oh, yeah. It's getting late.
Talking of Peter, one more snap from Peter. Where are you, Peter? Let's have a look. Ah, there we go.
There he is, looking at the
Fireworks in the
fireworks.
background. GB News on the box.
Already in
Good
his
man.
dressing gown.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice dressing gown.
Selfie.
Paul and her husband, Karen.
Richard?
Is it Karen or Richard?
Paula and her husband Richard.
It says Karen and Richard.
At the
Karen
top,
and Paul, Paula and Richard.
Oh, yeah, which one's right? Is it
If we just married her off to somebody you're not married to, we apologise. Paula and her husband Richard, I think, or maybe James. Oh, that might be John and Vera.
Yeah.
Hello, John and Vera. Oh, lovely champagne glass there. Oh, and look, that's James is wishing us a Happy New Year from Australia.
Australia.
Lucky.
That's nice, isn't it?
Oh,
It
well
looks
done,
amazing.
James. Thank you so much for joining us. I love that. I love seeing all those pictures from around the world. I was going to say the country, but around
I don't know if you guys have noticed in I'd say I was going to say 6 months, which actually coincides with Labour's win, but when I'm out and about now, I've noticed a massive uptick in people saying hello, saying thank you, supporting the channel and being very genuine in their words.
There's an age shift as well. I think it's gone... When I first started at GB News, there was a lot of people in their 50s and 60s, and that was great, that would come over and say hello, and they still do, but now I'm noticing more kind of 18 to 25-year-olds. And I think there's something happening there, definitely, with that age demographic, really, which is nice, actually, because I think, hopefully, anyway, I hope that people feel as though we are opening up conversations, that you feel as though you can discuss these things around around your own dinner table and everything, because we're having various conversations. So yeah.
Yeah, and what they say is, I don't want to sit here and be self-congratulating, but what they say is, you're more than just a news channel. We do the news, of course, and we do it seriously when we have to, but also we're sort of a community and a movement as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is why things such as your say is really good.
Breath of fresh air, I think we've heard out and out more than any other phrase.
Grumpy Grandad on the Your Says, who's in hospital right now, God bless him. Yeah.
He's a very regular viewer,
Grumpy Grandad.
Oh, yeah.
And he says that we're a family.
Yeah,
everyone on those Your Says, the viewers and the presenters.
Grumpy Grandad, did you manage to stay up and watch the whole of our show?
I
Because he wasn't sure if he was going to, I don't think.
No, yes. Well, he was up about half an hour ago.
The thing that I don't mind congratulating GB News on the end of 2024. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when I've been at the farmers' protest, the people come up to GB News presenters. You would have found the same thing, Patrick, when you were there in the afternoon. And they come up to GB News presenters and they want to hug you. Did they get
Less
you
so
that?
for me, Babs, to be honest.
But you've got LBC there, and you've got BBC, and you've got Channel 4, and you've got Sky, and they're all stood there, and people go, oh, look, there's a woman off the telly. But with GB News presenters, they come up and they go...
They feel like they know you.
I think it feels like a safe space, doesn't it?
And they say thank you. And they always say, you keep me sane, you kept me sane.
Just on that note, can I just say a quick thank you to everyone behind the scenes?
Yes.
Who
thank you.
done a massive effort, not just on this show, of course, but, over the Christmas period and just generally as well. Thank you very much. It's amazing, really, because we are quite a small team. We're a lean team.
Yeah.
The amount of effort and the amount of work that everyone goes through behind the scenes there, and they don't get the credit they deserve a lot of time.
And Katie, who you normally see reading the news, has been producing our show tonight.
Superb job.
She's done a superb job. And Ben Briscoe, who runs the TV department, who came in this year as well. Was it this year or was it last year? Feels like a lot longer, to be honest.
Still here.
It was last year, apparently.
He's still here.
Has whipped us all into shape, as you can see. And I think we're all doing
Feeling a bit out of shape at the moment, Bev. I don't know about you guys.
Have you recovered from your fit of giggles earlier?
I'll tell you what did it. It was in my ear, somebody said, Mr. Motivator's on standby, and it just absolutely...
You know what, Ben? The amount of times I've heard that, it's remarkable. It's literally about 5 or 6 times since being at GB News.
He's always ready. He's always ready.
Yeah, we love it.
Oh, well.
It's that thing, isn't it? You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps.
It does indeed.
Couldn't do it without all of you at home. We all here, Darren, Ben, me, Patrick and Emily, we wish you a very, very happy new year. We will be with you every step of the way in 2025. Don Neeson and Sam Francis will join you for breakfast to kickstart your day tomorrow morning.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
I'm Christopher Hope. From pop stars to politicians, I'll interview anybody in a pub who's got a political opinion. Join me every Friday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube or gbnews.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. This is GB News, the People's Channel.
This is Britain's Newsroom, where your voice matters.
It's just astonishing. With expert analysis and honest opinion, we don't just keep you informed.
We bring you unique perspectives you won't see anywhere else.
Can't argue with any of that. When the news happens, it happens here.
On Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Sunday with Michael Portillo from 11, only on GB News.
Christmas Canapé offers partygoers a small treat that staves off hunger and soaks up the fizz. Founder and host of Crazy Sexy Food, Hannah Harley-Young, joins me now with a toothsome selection. Lovely to see you, Hannah.
You too.
Origin of the word canapé?
Yes, French. Sort of from the, of course, from sort of the 1800s. It means sofa. So it's sort of playing on the analogy of someone sitting or lying on a sofa. It is about the garnish, traditionally sitting on a piece of stale bread or pastry. Obviously, it's evolved over the years. I don't have any stale bread for you, don't worry. But the idea is that it's something sort of garnish, something exciting sitting on a vehicle that you can put in your mouth in 1 or 2 bites.
It's obviously post-war. What is it? Is it 60s or 70s? How long have we been eating these things?
I would say around about then. And I think what's interesting, I mean, I always look towards even the 80s, a little bit sort of later on, where it's, where you sort of have that, sort of the classic vol au vent, which was, you know, a little bit dry, a little bit tasteless. And I think that's why I've brought a real selection for you to show you how far we've come. Another traditional one, obviously, being your pigs in blankets. I'm going to hold off for a second before I choke. Another thing that I have to say about canapés, there are a few little tips that I must give people super quickly. Make sure they're small. 1 or 2 bites. When you're at a party, you're standing, you've got a glass in one hand, you need to hold it. There. OK, I would have preferred a glass of wine, but, you know, I can't stand these canapés where I have to put the glass down in order to eat the food. I want to do it all at once.
I couldn't agree more. You should never eat more than you can lift.
Exactly.
GB News, the People's Channel.
If you want your news to be straight talking...
This is a nightmare for the Conservatives again.
Down to earth.
It's not just Nottingham where this is happening, is it?
And most importantly, honest.
Hard-working, middle-class taxpayers, they'll get their book thrown at them.
Then catch me, Martin Daubney, Monday to Friday, 3 till 6 p.m. on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hello, it's 7 o'clock. Welcome to GBN Tonight with me, Emily Carver. On the show this New Year's Eve, farmers